like the drama, yeah. Thought you already knew that, ay. Why you gotta do that, ay? Don't switch it up, thought you understood that, ay. Coming from the bottom, very bottom, yeah, yeah. Fam, I thought you knew that, ay. Fam, I'm on the come up, yeah. No need to fake it, Charlie never loved us, no. Say, why you gotta do that? Say you ain't gotta do that, no. Babe, why you gotta do that? No, you ain't gotta do that, no.
You be tweaking, you be geeking, I ain't built like that, shorty. If you hang up in my face, why I'ma dial you back? Had to run the shit a double time like a running back, ayy, ayy. Tryna put things in my life in another sequence. I've been dealing with a lot in this too tough to mention, but I feel a little better with the Smith & Wesson. It's a long, dark road if you don't have a weapon. Watching everywhere I step, facilitate these blessings. Gotta keep my eyes peeled for the misdirection. In the form of a favor or a loved one. I know you got trauma in your past that you can run from, and it shows in every single action that you make, love. That ain't what up, love, nah. You be tweaking, you be geeking, I ain't built like that, shorty. If you hang up in my face, why I'ma dial you back, no.
I don't like the drama, yeah. Thought you already knew that, ay. Why you gotta do that, ay? Don't switch it up, thought you understood that, ay. Coming from the bottom, very bottom, yeah, yeah. Fam, I thought you knew that, ay. Fam, I'm on the come up, yeah. No need to fake it, Charlie never loved us, no. Say, why you gotta do that? Say, you ain't gotta do that, no. Babe, why you gotta do that? No, you ain't gotta do that, no.
Like, I don't even know how this shit's supposed to go for real. Like, I'm just... Hold on. Girl, I'm dialing you. Ever since I met you, I've been all over you. Burberry, London is a smell on you. Gotta keep it player, I can't get too comfortable. Hey, girl, you know I'm jumping off the ropes. I ain't come to play, been a nigga since forever, baby, it ain't much to say. Getting to the skrilla every time of day. Met a bad one on the way like Kim K. Hey, met a bad one on the way like Kim K. Like Kim K. Met a bad one on the way like Kim K. Hey, met a bad one on the way like Kim K. Like Kim K. Met a bad one on the way. Suit and tie, shorty, tell me what the business is. Got me feeling like this some official shit. Wear your fucking jersey and your whistle, bitch. I'm just trying to take it to the post like an N1. I'm just trying to work it like some errands. Split into your middle like a fraction. Skeletons you bring up out the closet, shit is random. Yeah. Hey. Shorty, you ain't even gotta do that. Thinking in your head that I'm big cap, no cap. Baby, I'm official as a visa stamp. Baby, I'm official as a cookie stamp. Baby, I got the piece with the cookie stamp. People's child, hey. Nigga really think I found a bad bitch. Nigga know I really was bad. Nigga really think I found a bad bitch. Hey, girl, you know I'm jumping off the ropes. I ain't come to play, been a nigga since forever, baby, it ain't much to say. Getting to the skrilla every time of day. Met a bad one on the way like Kim K. Hey, met a bad one on the way like Kim K. Like Kim K. Met a bad one on the way like Kim K. Hey, met a bad one on the way like Kim K. Like Kim K. Met a bad one on the way. I just met a bad one.
Black African power, y'all. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee. Man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's the pseudo killers on deck. And we come to do what we got to do, and we're going to do what we got to do. We standing tall. We standing strong. Pseudo killers on deck. What's good, family, man? Y'all already know what it is, man. We here, yo, and we comfortable in putting out the information. Serious B, what it do? What it do? What it do?
Right, peace to the brothers. Peace, Unc. Peace, Kent. Man, give a shout out to the brother that put together that intro music, man. That was really fire, man. I really enjoyed that. What's the brother's name?
Ah, man, JC Porter in the house,
JC
man.
Porter.
Nephew,
Yeah,
all day,
yeah. That's
JC
some lounge
Porter,
music right there. I got to get some copies of that. I can play around the house while I'm doing some reading. So, but yeah, that's what's up. Peace to JC Porter. Shout out to them.
Yeah, JC Porter, man.
It's a lot going on in the community this week, as we can see. We didn't go live last week. That was on the heels of the Shaka Atmos Tazariak debate. But again, we're back this week to sort of tie a bow around a lot of the controversies and the conversations that happened over the last week. So yeah, let's get it.
Man, Clark Kent, man, the man of steel, man. What's good, man? What's good? What's good? What's happening?
Ain't nothing, man. What's happening with you, man? Y'all get me? I'm good.
Yeah,
we can hear you loud and crystal. Boy, that mic sounding
right
good,
here,
man.
Man, right here, man. Been listening to a little bit of the craziness that been happening over the. I can't take too much of it, but yeah, it's getting wild out there in them pseudo streets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Shout out to the panel, man.
You got the reemergence of some old familiar faces, right?
Came back with a vengeance, yep.
and some new files on the desk. We looking at you, Thunder. We got some new files that hit the pseudo killer's desk as of today. So yeah. We got to deal with you in the placebos, but that's a different topic from the night, right?
Right. We'll get that in though. I mean, placebo effect. I looked over some of that information a while back, so it's funny to hear that pop back up. So,
I'm
looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to the night show, man.
Right.
Hey, man, look.
Fill us in on this debate, Unc. I'm hearing whisperings in these YouTube streets about this debate, man. How's it coming? How's it coming?
You know, me and Sanchez had a conversation on the phone, right? I feel like he deserves a shot to get beat up. So yeah, we definitely doing that. And I think it's gonna be lit, and y'all need to get up in there and just figure out how to diffuse misinformation. It's a lot of different ways you can come. I feel like the way things have been put out lately has been very confusing, and I'm gonna bring clarity to the situation as always, man. I'm a pseudo killer by heart, and there's a certain way you do it, yo. And I tell you what, man, never acquiesce to a faulty premise. Never acquiesce to a faulty premise. Right? You start acquiescing to faulty premises, man, then you're in trouble. If the damn moon ain't marshmallow, right? The moon ain't made out of marshmallows. Stop trying to refute the claim that it's made out of marshmallows. Yeah, it's made out of marshmallows because the aliens came and they shot it up with the white cream. And no, they didn't, because you couldn't have done that. They couldn't have got there because they don't. Nah, see, you're doing too much. You're already in the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
There's one thing about that rabbit hole. Once you in there, up is down, right is left, and left is right. You don't know where you at. So yeah, the best thing is don't go into that rabbit hole.
It's harder trying to figure out. It's harder trying to figure out what they just said than to debunk them outright, because it's easy to debunk them, but when you try to go back and understand and try to make it coherent, you can't even put that together right. Like, it don't even make sense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we novice, and there's some things that the general public just don't understand, right? There's certain things we could talk about that would inform you and instruct you on how certain structures are put together in the universe. So, I'll be doing that in conversation, man. The serial killers is all on board, man. It's a team effort. It's important, make sure things are simplified so that people can kind of understand what's going on around that, man. Yeah, I see we got a lot of people going live, man. Before we hit it, we're gonna at least try to get up to 30 tonight, man. It seemed like everybody live. A lot of pseudos is live.
Yeah,
everybody pseudos. And so yeah, we here, man. We kicking it. Where the hell Cedric at, man? Where you at? I could have sworn I put the link in there. My man say Cedric voice been off for 3 years.
Oh yeah, the brother 504. Yeah, 504 dropped that in the chat, and I told him, said, your work is done for the day, sir. That was funny.
He did some hollering back in his day. He did some hollering, man. I can't imagine what he used to say.
Man, in his heyday, I can imagine, right?
You don't need no damn, what do they call them? The little horn,
little bullhorn or something.
Yeah, you don't need no bullhorn, yo.
No, right. I'm amped up for that debate. I hear that the brother Rob Bourne and Top Cat, they're mulling over a debate. They're working out some of the details of that. I think the brother Garfield, he's going to be the moderator. He's organizing that, so I'm looking forward to that one as well. They had some preliminaries and some promotion for the debate today over on Garfield's channel. That was interesting. It was really, really interesting. Hopefully the brothers can iron out the details and the kinks in terms of that and put on a good show for the community. I think that'll be really interesting there. Again, Aboriginals, they're finally getting a chance to get on some big platforms and put their information out there. As pseudo as we may call it, right? They're getting a voice, right? So it's always important for them to have a voice, and once that voice is heard, kill them dead, right?
I think kind of felt like. Go ahead, Ken.
I think with a lot of these debates, man, it's good to have them because you want to hear everybody's side, right? That's part of being scientific. You listen, you hear the other person out. But at the end of the debate, there has to be a clear winner. I know with debates, this is all about, who argument the best and who sounds more convincing. But let's base some of these. I would like to have all of these debates have a conclusion at the end, like who had the most accurate information instead of who won the argument based on showmanship and all that. That can be its own category, but let's have a category with whose information was more accurate. And, after the after show or whatever, once we run back down, how we do the movies at the pseudo killers. That's how we try to go back. You know what I mean? But yeah, we need to figure that out, man. I would like to see that in upcoming debate.
Kind of felt like that should have been a live one, man. Maybe we're going to get that live, to see all the fly African Americans come out dressed like cowboys and Indians. You know what I'm saying? I think that
I heard they can put on a show. I heard they can put on a show.
Man, we need to do a live one, man. I was thinking, I kind of, talked to I didn't know they had jump skips. Yeah, that's quick. But I think we should get that live one kicking, yo. Maybe we had to do something here down in Atlanta, man.
Let's get
all the beautiful women down in the spot. You know what I'm saying? Get them. Think that'd be a good one, man. Let them express their tribe and all that, and then mow them down. You know what I'm saying? I think maybe we need to take that.
Get them all in one room.
Get them all in one room with all the feathers
out.
Around.
Bring out the wampum, then mow them down with the M60s.
Yeah.
Pull the M60s out.
Yeah. Right. Get some Indian rappers down. They all Indians. The cowboys and the Indians, yo.
Oh man.
Right. Maybe I bring a horse up in the building. Ride up in there with a black hat.
Oh man! Now, I'll pay for that. I'll pay to see that alone. You show up on a horse. I'll pay for the building.
These cowboy boots. Billy the damn kid. Billy the kid.
Man. You see what happened to you see what happened to Steve brought that horse up in the club, yo.
Yeah, he was stupid. Yeah, that was.
He's a madman.
He's a madman.
CeeLo, no, he's too out of shape to be on the back of a horse.
CeeLo too big to be back on. He broke the horse's leg, yo. He's supposed to ride up in there like Billy the Kid. I'm riding up there like Billy the Kid, yo, with the 6 shooters. They gonna have their bulls in there. You know what happened to the Indians, yo? The Indians got mowed down, yo.
Oh man.
Hey, why we always pick the losers, yo? Y'all ever figure that out, yo?
Man,
Like
just can't win for losing. Can't win for losing.
You want to double lose, yo.
Yeah, that story didn't pan out too well. That story didn't pan out.
Man, yeah. Look, the thing about it, enslaved Africans helped mow the Indians down too. We forget about that. The Buffalo Soldiers was clearly on the Western Front. They was clearly
details. There you go again, Unc.
Yo, we fought in every war, yo.
Right.
Fought on both sides of the Civil War. We did. Fought in World War I, World War II. We did.
That's a fact.
Fought in Vietnam. We did. The Bear Pigs. We did. Army, Air Force, Marines. Shot up the Indians too. I don't understand it, bro. The Indians enslaved the Africans. They did all that. Man, at the end of the day, yo, they all got washed out, right? The ones that's left standing for real is the African American. Look at us. Beautiful tribe right here. Nation within a nation, regardless of what you may think. Very powerful, very astute, right? We sit right there on the world stage, okay? We push policy. When we rise up and speak, everybody listen. We like E.F. Hutton. When those African Americans start talking, everybody listen. So we're not a powerless people, and we never was. And we can actually verify these things just by studying African American history, right? Anybody that goes through the trials and tribulations that we went through and can stand and bring an accurate message with both sides polarizing you with pseudo information, yo, that means we ready. Check out Dr. Oyamayat's channel. We did an excellent show. Right? And very, very intelligent young brothers and sisters. Jalen and Sister Rahman. Like absolutely marvelous. Sister Rahman is in Dr. Oyamaya's class. She's a mathematician bar none. Right? She's coming in the image of Catherine, the human computer. Check out that movie, Hidden Figures. Read up on Sister Catherine and all the sisters that work at NASA in the 60s. So I refuse to act like we're powerless. That's just not true. We always have had choices, right? And we stand behind those choices, and we don't knock a person for their choices. Jalen, they put together a network. They did a presentation, right? You know what I'm saying? Like this is the level we seek to have, to be on par with the rest of the world. Now the foolery, the young pseudo and all that nonsense, man, I think we're really mistaken, Brendan and brother Kent. Right, we're actually mistaken on what the level is. And I'm just glad to have some brothers like you that are willing to study, read, and build libraries that will, serve as a foundation for generations to come. Thanks.
Yeah. Big shout out to Dr. Mai, man. It's beautiful what the sister is doing with the kids, with the young adults there, with the scientific literacy and the engineering. So yeah, big shout out to her.
Oh, indeed, Dr. Miles always been a goat in my eyes, man.
Yeah, and we're gonna work behind the scenes to figure out how we can actually, work closer with her and her programs and what she's doing as well. So, yep.
Facts.
Oh yeah, that's right. But absolutely, and we appreciate that, Brendan. And I know your word is bond on that.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely, man. Shout out. The cat love a whole man behind the icon. Those are a whole man. Chad, what's good? James Modded, we see you. What's up, Zan? Zan finally came back. I remember Zan wouldn't come over. Where you been at, Zan? What's good with you? Who else we got? We got Mr. Metro. We got Mosey77, aka Toot Mosey. Really? Oh, you're a pseudo. We caught one early in the game.
What do you say?
Yo said the only black people who have a voice are the sellouts. Come on, man. Stop hate, man. See what I tell you about the haters? You got to participate. Stop hating. Just because a person is forward, right? To have a voice doesn't make them a sellout. And you fit right into the narrative of that. Because if some strange reason did you happen to work hard, right, and can articulate the English language properly and can stand for Black people, and the fact that you push your way to be able to have a voice, now all of a sudden you're a sellout because you ain't promoting herbs and chicken root soup, then you're definitely a sellout. That's ridiculous. See, that's anti-intellectualism. And this is what we fight against, that very measure right there. That because you can speak proper and read books and have a library on your coffee table instead of Hip Hop Magazine on your coffee table, you might have Charles Darwin, Origin of the Species on there, right? Or Neil deGrasse work, right? All of a sudden you're a sellout. Or Bill Nye, the science guy, right? Or some biology textbooks laying around for the kids to finger through. All of a sudden you're a sellout. Man, you gotta knock it off.
I mean, yes. I think that
DQ Hampton is in the building.
Peace to DQ.
Support
Peace DQ.
Hey, I think that's an excuse that people like that come up with because they scared to use their voice and be better. So they have to just give all it. Y'all sellouts because y'all trying to get more information. Like, bro, you can do the same thing. We ain't powerless.
It's the ultimate cop out, right? In terms of you assume that a successful person has always been that way. It's a lot of times it takes decades of hard work.
Exactly.
It takes a lot of tenacity, schooling, and pointing your finger at people who go through university programs and saying, okay, well, yeah, you think you're uppity and this and this. No, it's a lot of work involved in that. It's a lot of sacrifice, a lot of financial time away from your families and all that. So yeah, I commend anyone who, especially those who start from the bottom, and work their way up, whatever it be, if it's in corporate America, if it's in academia, if you're working in the public sector. So yeah, my hat's off to anybody that does that. Those are hard things to do for an African American. So
thanks.
I've been in circles where they call Martin Luther King a sellout.
There you go.
Now think about that. Man lost his life,
right?
Okay, for making sure that he left a legacy, which allowed us to be able to participate. At that point,
an entire life of service.
Sit back.
Yeah, he did. He did very little to enrich himself. He had a whole life of service, and to say that it's the ultimate cop out.
Marcus Garvey was a damn cult leader.
Man. Hey, look.
Yeah, let's play. You want to bring it up since we in the middle of it? This is the Silo Killer show. Black people talk nonsense about Marcus Garvey, not white people. Marcus Garvey sold niggas some fake raffle tickets. Knock it off.
Man.
Right? And he came with the hat. You know what we say with the hat around here. Beware of the hat. Right? Beware of the hat. Man, not gonna want to hear that. Yeah, man, he ain't do justice to Pan. He had his own brand. He made up his own brand, right? Come on, man. See, right? Whatever. And, hey,
they keep making us pull out that file. They keep making us pull out that file on Garvey.
I was gonna stop.
African for the Africans. Look, African for the Africans. He ain't never went to Africa. Somebody explain that to me.
Hey,
you
man,
spend the better part of your life howling about go to Africa, Africa for the Africans, but never went, never attempted to go. Ah, man, nah.
And died broke.
Doing that.
He died broke.
Huh?
He died broke. That's your hero. But I'm gonna chill.
Yeah, nah, we actually read. We really start reading up on it, right? Now I'm gonna go with Martin Luther King. Little Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go with them. Who else I like? The Black Titan. All right, I like Julian Percy. Okay, scientists. Yeah, I like them. Catherine, Human Computer. Yeah, I ain't going Garvey had a pseudo. I ain't mess with Garvey, yo. He trying to put us to a place he wasn't even trying to go. Nah,
give me the boys. Give me the boys all day long. Give me the boys.
Who else we got?
Yeah. Give me Langston. Give me Langston Hughes. That was that was my man back in high school. Langston Hughes.
Booker T. Washington.
Who else we got?
Booker T.
Give me Booker T. Left for university. Booker T got a university. AJ Gaskin, right? Built a school college business, right? First black millionaire, own insurance company, first black insurance company millionaire. Right. He told white people, check this out, man. He ain't like the march. You know, that's the one that used to go ahead and bond Martin Luther King and them out of jail, man. They used to stay in his hotels when they came to Mobile, Alabama. Y'all should look this man up, yo. He went on here, he go to dinner, you know, with the Kennedys. Yeah, they invite him to the White House. He was like, he said, I don't do no marching. He said, white people like to negotiate. He said, I sit at the table and negotiate with them. Right? When they had them those signs up saying what bathroom white people and black people should go to, he said, I gave him a day to get it out of my bank. He said, I give y'all a day to take them signs down. It's a hell of a negotiation, so I'm taking my money out the bank. Guess what? Them damn signs was down. Like he didn't necessarily appreciate bringing the kids into the movement on the front line, because kids actually got attacked in the civil rights movement. Right. You know, and it was a play though, because you know, there's a certain gesture of humanity, no matter who you are, that when you see them babies out there on the front line, you feel a certain way. And that kind of changed the whole movement. To see them teenagers and stuff like that, you know, the world was like, nah, enough is enough. Right. And that's the nonviolent thing took heart. Most people can't realize that. How many of y'all can take getting eaten up by German shepherds? How many of y'all can take getting bottles thrown at you? How many of y'all can take getting pushed down the street with that couple tons of pressure from the damn fire hoses? This is coming from the people that's supposed to protect and serve you. You know, pushing German shepherds on you. Fire department supposed to save you and help you out. Okay? Your local institution is not allowing you to go to school. Yeah, they had to walk to work, boycott it. They did all above, man. And so big up to that movement that has allowed us to have a voice now where we can go ahead and conduct business and beat up the pseudo killers. Yeah, so we right there. We're at 47, man. Who else we got in here? Good body, God body. What's going on with you? All right. Say Fred Shuttleworth. Kwame Torre. Okay. Hammer. All right. Nah, you say, am I a parent? Nah. No, I support some ideas, right? You know, Pan-Africanists, but it got dated and silly during the pandemic. A lot of the black groups kind of let me down, man. You know, some groups that's been in the community for over 70 years, like the Nation of Islam, their best move was to make pamphlets discouraging the black community, right, from protecting themselves. Go ahead and eat some Navy beans. I thought that'd be ridiculous. Eat Navy beans and wear a mask. That's what they told them. They take half of the CDC guidelines. Ain't that funny? Wash your hands, put on the mask, right? Healthy diet. You know, that's CDC material right there, right? Yeah. Good sleep, right? Wear a mask, wash your hands, good diet, exercise. That's CDC protocol right there. That's the first thing they tell you to do. They take that part, add Navy beans to it, and say, under no circumstance, take the vaccine. Stand outside naked in the sun. Y'all remember that though, right? Yeah, I'm not even making that up.
No, you're spot on. And we talk about this phenomenon. This is the cherry picking we talk about. You're picking and choosing the pieces that go along with your worldview, and then you're leaving on the table other things that don't. Right. You know, and in the case of the pandemic, that was a very deadly decision to do that for many. I can imagine within the organization. Yeah.
You remember the first thing was that black people couldn't even get the virus. That was the first. That was the first pseudo thing that jumped.
I remember that. I remember that.
Like what? But
oh man, can't catch it. Then you caught it. Yeah, well, you don't eat the vegetables and the string beans.
It was the 5G. And it was 5G. Remember we went with that for a little minute.
Man, polite flim flams on that one. Was it 5G? It wasn't 5G. It wasn't 5G. Remember that? I said 5G. It wasn't 5G.
I remember Dr. Phil told us to paint your children's rooms with lead paint.
With protect from the 5G radiation. Yeah.
5G from coming in and giving you COVID. Like, it was crazy, man. Like, I don't. Is they scamming? Something, right? Got to be. But anyway.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kent got me on the scamming thing. I wasn't thinking people were scamming. I was actually
you was thinking they was
I wasn't scamming. Yeah, I know I wasn't scamming when I was a full-blown pseudo in the cult. I actually thought that's what it was. Used to argue people down.
Well, I don't think it's the audience that's scamming. I think it's the person. Like, so you was listening to somebody that was scamming, and then you ended up pushing his. That's
his
what
scam.
it is.
Push the scam.
It's
push the scam.
The people that buy into it end up preaching whatever they're hearing from the scammer.
So, hey, the guy. I like you though, bro. Hit that link. We're gonna drop that link too. Oh, what did it say?
That's that colloidal water. That's that colloidal silver. Gold water, colloidal silver. Yeah.
Monatomic gold. Remember that? Remember Wishmacan was selling the
snake oil in all forms was flowing freely during the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Charlatan Joe. Let's pull that up. I think we got that there, man. Where we at? Where we at on the clock and the ticker? I know Brennan gonna start us off. We want to make sure we get the joke session in. You got to get the joke session in. But let's start off with this real quick. Hey, we're going to start off with this. This is good. I always got my list of pseudo topics up in case y'all come on and go ahead and do that. So,
okay.
You know, we just start off with this. Here, we got this. Just so y'all know where the reference is, where the framework at. Right? Here, charlatan. So y'all know, they all around you. Charlatan. Also called a swindler. Swindler. Mountebank is a person practicing quackery. Well, what's quackery? Here you go. Beware the cancer quack. Here you go. Quackery, often synonymous with health fraud. Okay? It's the promotion of fraudulent or ignorant medical practices. A quack is a fraudulent or ignorant pretender to medical skills, or a person who pretends professionally or publicly to have skills, knowledge, qualifications, or credentials. Okay? They do not possess.
They promote ignorant medical practices.
So
promotion
who did that?
Of ignorant medical practices.
Do. Who's that guy? Who's that guy?
Top pseudo.
He's an infamous. Oh man, Alfredo Durrington Bowman, better known as Dr. Who, Dr. Sebi, was a Honduran self-proclaimed herbalist healer who also practiced in the United States in the late 20th and 21st centuries. Bowman claimed to cure all diseases with herbs and plant-based alkaline diet. There you go. I didn't say it, not me. I'm just reading it. And then the rest of them, a bunch of white boys wilding out. And we definitely got one of his teachers on here. I didn't say it. The encyclopedia said it. There you have it. Yeah, that's a good thing to start the show off with. We cooking now. We cooking with hot grease. There you go. Here you go.
I like to drink my alkaline Fiji water like everybody else, but don't think it's gonna cure anything.
No, sir.
Because it's not. It just tastes good.
Fiji does definitely taste good. I love Fiji. I see they got the new alkaline water though out now. It's actually called alkaline water, like the bottle, but it's still water.
They're selling the food markets, dog. No, they selling the food. See, if you've been selling people something for $30, $40, $50 a bottle, and then it pop up in the food market 4 or 5, you've been scamming.
Yeah.
You know how much you should sell it to us for? You know that, right? The machine. What about the machines? What about the machines? Y'all know that machine. My man used to run around with the $500 machine. selling you bottles for $30-$40, yo.
Yeah.
Wow. Yo, the alkaline water, my man. I'd be like, yo, you wild? I'm not buying that water. What the hell wrong with you? Now it's in the food market, gas stations now. Right.
Right.
That's the one they're trying to hide from you.
Oh man, vending machines everywhere.
Right.
Yep.
Promoted by Dr. Sebi for thousands of dollars. Is we serious right now? You can get a 59-cent bottle. Come on, man. Scamming. He's definitely a scammer. Flim flammer, bim bammer. I said it. And you know why? Because when it was time for him to stand up, when he went to court, man, he tapped out. Tap, tap. He went on ahead and paid that restitution. He put that thing in the newspaper to say, nope, I cannot cure none of that. He did that. So all them lies, he went to court, defeat him. No, he didn't. He ain't even finished the trial. Y'all wild for that, man. All right, we at the 54,000 people in the building, man. Here we go. So what you got for us, man? I know we getting in. What we starting off with the religion or the what we doing?
Right. So this is sort of an ongoing theme that we have, not only talking amongst ourselves with the pseudo killers. We have these conversations with people that jump on the panel a lot as well. And this is drawing parallels between religion and science, and sort of to as a ongoing theme for the things that we've been talking about the last few shows, right? The origin of the universe, the Big Bang. What we wanted to do, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here, is talk about creationism versus science. All right, so let me see if I can go ahead and share this, share my screen. All right, let me know if you guys can see this. All right, so this science versus creation myths, right? When we talk about the creation myths, these are some of those cosmological stories that we would see either in the Bible, things that we see in the Quran, all different types of religious traditions, of course, around the world. All of them have their own creation stories, right? So we did a deep dive, so to speak, on the Big Bang. And that's the scientific model regarding, how the universe came into existence and how it evolved over time into what we see today in the natural world. So, what we wanted to do is talk about, okay, well, what are some of the parallels that some religious practitioners say are between their religious worldview and the scientific explanation of the Big Bang? So we wanted to kind of hit on that.
Hey, Brennan didn't come up.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if you already put it up.
Right. So do you see it?
No. Okay, it's coming up now. Yeah.
All right. Do you see it? Put a 1 in the chat on the YouTube if you guys actually see this.
Yeah, it's right there. We definitely see it. It's right there.
Okay, awesome. But of course, right, this pseudo killers at the movies, we always want to make sure we do our disclaimer first, right? This is the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, right? We're allowed uses for fair use. This is for purpose of criticisms, comment, news reporting, teaching, and scholarship, which is a strong word for what we do, is education and research. Again, this is the Fair Use Act, right? But before we get into this, right, I want to actually lead off with a very short, brief video from Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm going to stop sharing this. Then I'm going to share again.
Oh, you had it actually coming up.
I got to share the audio. All right. All right, so we'll go ahead and do this. This is a brief story about religion and science of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
In a free society,
let me know if you guys hear this.
Society,
yeah, you hear it.
The expression of religion is constitutionally protected, which is a fundamental part of why America was so attractive to immigrants from around the world whose religious differences were not being supported in their hometown. I will never be one to tell you what you should believe or what you should not believe. What I will say is that if you want to say that where we don't understand things, that's where God rests, that's where God operates, the God of the gaps argument, because I get asked that all the time. What was around before the universe? I don't know. Must have been something, God. So they got to stick in God where we're not there yet. And I just say, well, we got top people working on that. It's a current frontier. We're not there yet. And given the history of the moving frontier, where people had previously said, well, God must be operating, we're long past that. Those explanations have come. And so there's no compelling reason to say God did it and then sort of give up and go on to the next problem. My issue with the God of the gaps is that if you feel that way, you should not be writing the science curriculum of a classroom. Okay?
There you go.
That's all. Okay? Because if you do, you are undermining the very process of what science is all about. Because the God of the gaps principle is like it's a philosophy of ignorance, whereas science is a philosophy of discovery. And that's an important distinction between the two. And if you remove that foundation for what builds science, you are undermining the capacity of your culture, of your nation, to compete technologically in the 21st century. So it is not without consequence to have conduct of that way.
Yeah. The brother is always insightful in terms of what he does. Right? He's always brilliant. All right. So when we begin to talk about, people drawing these parallels between the creation stories and the scientific explanation of the origins of the universe, which we call the Big Bang, right? So what I wanted to really start out is in the Bible, right? With the biblical creation story, because for a lot of us, that's one of those stories that is most familiar, right? So if you actually take a look here on the screen, right, there's a professor named Professor Nathan Avazir, right? He's a Jewish academic that draws parallels between modern science and his religious worldview within Judaism. And what he did, he's the author of a book called In the Beginning, Biblical Creation and Science. And in this particular book, right, he talks about the story of the creation is written in the book of Genesis. And he describes it in a way, he says that it resonates perfectly with the evolution of the universe as described within the Big Bang model. Right. And this particular academic, he had an interview with an online blog that's called the Times of Israel. And in that interview, he says things like, okay, the discovery of gravitational waves. Right. I know we talked about gravitational waves. It was me, Kent, and Anthony a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the Big Bang. Right. He actually describes that as that being a piece of scientific evidence that actually predicts or reinforces the biblical creation story, right? So this idea of the gravitational waves that we see that was predicted inside of both the Big Bang and the theory of general relativity, he says that this is actually evidence that reinforces or something that undergirds his theory that the Bible is a perfect parallel or runs parallel with the scientific facts of that. Right. So if you actually take a look at what it says, he says, for believing Jews, the story of the Big Bang resonates perfectly, quote unquote, with the creation story told in Genesis. Avazir said, without addressing who or what caused it, the mechanisms of creation of the creation process in the Big Bang matches the Genesis story perfectly. See, when we talk about some things being perfect, those are red flags always for me, because science never deals in the absolute and what lines up perfectly. So that's in and on its face that those are religious terms that throw up a red flag for me. It says, if I had to make up a theory to match the first passages in Genesis, the Big Bang theory would be it. Right. And this is just an excerpt from his conversations with the Times of Israel with that blog. And again, right, this is an Israeli professor that talks about his worldview, his religious worldview, and how it aligns with the scientific data. right? But again, he's not the only one, right? In terms of who does this, right? There's academics within the faith of Islam that do this, right? And you take a look here. This is Dr. Maurice Buchali, right? He actually does this as well in one of his works. He has a work out called The Bible, the Quran, and Science, right? And interesting enough, he actually wrote this book after he examined the mummy of Pharaoh Ramses II. So he did he had a trip over to Egypt, examined the mummies, and then came back and actually wrote this. And Dr. Buchali, what he says that the Quran is actually divine revelation, and it wasn't actually written by humans. This is a divine revelation that comes directly from the deity Allah, right? In chapter 3 of the Bible, the Quran, and Science, there's a chapter that's called The Creation of the Heavens and the Earths. And in this particular chapter, he talks about 5 major points in the Quran that provides information regarding the creation of the universe. And he says that it aligns perfectly with modern science as well, right? So these particular 5 points within there, he says that the Islamic creation story actually talks about the creation of Earth over 4 periods, which align with the 4 geological periods, or the 4 geological eras that we see in science. Those 4 eras being the Precambrian, the Paleozoic, the Mesozoic, and the Cenozoic. He says that those particular eras, those geological eras, are actually called out in the Quran, right? He also talks about the formation of stars as it's done, or as it's described within modern science. He says that aligns with the Quranic creation story, as well as the formation of proto-galactic nebulas. We talked about that during our conversation about the Big Bang. He says that those proto-galactic nebulas are actually called out in the Quran because the Quran describes the early universe as being in this gaseous state, that the early universe was in a gaseous form. And this is equivalent, or this is parallel to the proto-galactic clouds that the scientists talk about. And again, right, he says that there's no contradiction between modern science, or that modern scientific data, and the creation story of the Quran, right? So, and the Quran actually completely confirms what we see in the scientific data. But interesting enough, Dr. Maurice Buchali also says that the creation account that's recorded in the Old Testament, he says that creation story stands in direct contradiction with modern science. So, and again, right, so Dr. Buchali, right, he sort of stands at odds with Professor Nathan Avazir. So even in academic conversations, right, these two particular worldviews are somewhat at odds here, right? So when we talk about this, right, this actually gave rise to a movement that's called Buchaliism, right? And what this is, it says that the book gave rise to a movement called Buchaliism, which tries to relate modern science with religion, especially Islam, right? And it's, and this is again, right, there's several academics that actually subscribe to this worldview, saying that the Quran actually lines up with the scientific data, right? But yes, there's more, right? So it looks like all the major religions, people adherents to these major religions, right, they have people that do this, right? And again, this is the Hindu, within the Hindu tradition. In terms of the Hindu creation story, there's a Swami. I'm not going to say his last name. I think his Swami Rananaganda, right? He actually wrote a book called Human Being in Depth. And in the publisher's note of this book, what it describes, he says that Human Beings in Depth illustrates the kinship between the Vedanta. The Vedanta is essentially a religious tradition within the Hindu worldview. He says that there's a kinship between the Vedanta and modern science. He says religion expounded as a verified and verifiable science has a message for all humanity, that the spiritual life is in fact that the consciousness within man is a spark of divinity, and that this same divine consciousness pervades nature and the universe of physics. So what's interesting, he talks about this spiritual kinship, so to speak, between science and the Hindu tradition. So, within his book, I'll read just a short passage of here. He says that the whole universe was in a concentrated form, which in later literature is depicted as a point or a bindu. Those who have studied the chakras of the tantric tradition will find representations of a triangle, another triangle, then a circle, and so on. And in the center is just the dot, a point. It says that the chakra symbols, or the chakra is a symbolic expression of the nature of evolution. It says the whole universe was in a single infinitesimal point, one single bindu. Out of that, it exploded. The first explosion, which is still continuing, making for the expansion of the universe, is the Big Bang Theory. So this whole idea that the Hindu religion and the Hindu creation story, and they're talking about the chakras and the description of the chakra system, actually aligns with the Big Bang Theory. So again, right, we've got multiple instances of parallels between religion and modern science. Right. So again, we wouldn't be fair if we didn't talk about, right, the Buddhist tradition and the Buddhist cosmologists. Right. So again, right, these are two Japanese academics here, and they actually talk about, the idea that the Buddhist cosmology aligns with modern science. And one of the things about Buddhism and the Buddhist cosmology, they don't talk about the universe actually beginning from that it had a beginning similar to the Big Bang. Right. And within Buddhism, they say that the universe continuously evolves. And based on that description, they say that the Buddhist tradition actually aligns what they call the steady state model of the creation within science. So, and they actually discuss this about that continuing and ongoing process, right? So if you actually look at the steady state model, he says in cosmology, the steady state model or the steady state theory is an alternative to the Big Bang theory of evolution of the universe. In the steady state model, the density of matter in the expanding universe remains unchanged due to continuous creation of matter. So this is the idea of the unchanging, continuously evolving universe that sort of aligns what they say aligns to the Buddhist cosmological tradition. So, again, and then the quasi steady state, which is sort of a sort of an alternate of the steady state model. It suggests that there was pockets of creation over time, or a series of mini Big Bangs, so to speak, right? And that's a scientific explanation for the origins of the universe that these academics say aligns with the Buddhist cosmological tradition. Right. So we'll get to this particular clip a little bit later. All right. We won't jump into this now. But again, right, this is the Egyptian creation story, and this comes from a reference from Brother Reggie, and we've heard this before in terms of the Egyptian creation stories and how these somewhat, how some people say that they align with modern scientific explanations, right? And this is from Dr. Renata Tadamir, and what she claims is that the Hermopolean or the Hermopolis story of creation within ancient Kemet actually has parallels with modern particle physics and the Big Bang theory, right? So she actually makes these claims in her writing, when the gods play the roles of particles, sexuality and quantum language, and the perception of the Abduad of Hermopolis, right? And we've talked about, the four pairs of gods in the Hermopolis creation story, right? I won't name their names here because, they're just very difficult. I don't want to offend anybody's tradition, and hopefully I'm being as respectful to religious traditions as possible. But one of the interesting things, if you actually see this image in the center, right, what this is, I'll just read the brief description of that. He says the sun is actually rises from the mound of creation in the beginning of time. He talks about that central circle actually representing the earth. The three circles, the three orange circles essentially represent the sun. You see the 8 deities within the mound. Those are the 8 deities of the Abduad, right? And then you see the sun at the very top representing, it sits above the horizon glyph. And then you have the gods of the north, or I think this is these are the gods of the north and the south, actually pouring out the waters on the mound of creation. That's just I guess you would say artistic representation of the Hermopolis or the Hermopolis creation story there. And I'll read just a bit about this from the quantum behavior pattern. He says, why do I say that to me, the Hermopolitan theology may describe a perfect pattern? Here's that perfect pattern of the quantum state that had happened before the emerging of our manifested universe. He says, the main reason is that the four pairs may be generally designated with the term hydron in physics. So she's equating the gods within the Abduad to the hydrons within physics. He says, which they may have the closest meaning. He says, hydrons in particle physics designate any of the subatomic particles which experience the strong nuclear force or strong interactions or the strong force. In the Egyptian case, metaphorically, this strong interaction may suggest a potential sexual relation between the primal couples of snakes and frogs, which may be the main hydrons opposing constituents responsible for the binding of protons and neutrons within the nucleus of atoms. So again, if you actually listen to some of this, right, none of that is actually written within the Egyptian creation story. I think this is things that she's injecting or interjecting in that story, right? So that's just another example of how parallels between that creation story is being done with particle physics and the Big Bang, right? So again, right, this is the West African tradition. We can't leave them out. So we've got the Bantu, right? The Bantu Congo creation story, right? We've talked about this one before, right? In his book, he says, tying the spiritual knot, African cosmology of the Bantu Congo, principles of life and living. But again, right, we see this happens across multiple traditions, right? So, this isn't something that's foreign or something that's strange. A lot of the religious traditions are doing this.
Absolutely.
And what Foucault, what he describes, he says for the Bantu people, says the Congo in particular, the universe as we see and know is a result of the primitive event that occurred in and around, he says, in and around it, well known as the Luca. I'm not gonna try to say that. He says that the God cooked dough, right? So the God actually cooked up the dough, what they call the magmatic matters, the Big Bang. So this is what he's actually describing, right? This evolution as described within the Bantu Congo tradition is being similar to the Big Bang here. He says, it's a result of expanding fire processes that leave behind through a cooling process, satellites and planets and so on and so forth. So again, even the West African traditions are sort of in on this as well, right? Right. But, last but not least, right, we talk about, creation stories and drawing parallels in the conscious community, right? So we've got Brother Sanchez, right? Shout out to him. I know we're going to have a really interesting debate next month. So, everybody tune into that. So, what Brother Sanchez claims, he claims that the Heliopolis creation story within ancient Egypt actually draws parallels to his flat earth cosmology. So again, right, it's not only, relegated to people drawing parallels to modern standard science, right? People are drawing parallels to their own worldviews. And in Sanchez's case, it's the flat earth cosmology. And of course, with Sister Naphtali, she actually, Naphtali of FOPE, and shout out to them, she claims that the biblical creation story as described in the Old Testament actually has parallels with the Big Bang. And and there's two specific passages that she calls out within the book of Isaiah, where the passages say that the universe expanded, right? Or the stretching forth of the heavens actually sounding similar or being very akin to the Big Bang cosmology. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing this. So what do you think about this, brother? It's many different traditions sort of, drawing parallels that are saying that their traditions are similar. Which ones are correct? Well, everybody's religious tradition reflects the scientific data.
I think it gives a, when you can see it from the outside looking at all of them doing the same thing, it gives you a better perspective on what's going on. Like patterns going on. Everybody's dealing with the same issue, trying to make what they believe in fit the narrative or fit science.
Oh, absolutely. And when we talk about a couple of these phenomena, right? And I'm going to bring this up again, and we'll just talk through a little bit of this, right? And this is what I'm thinking that's happening here in terms of what we're observing with all of these traditions. Let me see. Let me know if this is actually sharing. Can you see this? Right. So this, for me, there's two logical fallacies happening here. Right. So the first one being the shoehorning logical fallacy. So essentially what that is, and you guys can look up shoehorning, and what that is, essentially you're force fitting modern scientific knowledge into their religious or spiritual worldview. Right. The shoehorning fallacy, you're taking something outside of what it is, and you're inserting, you're superimposing those religious traditions on top of what we know in terms of science, right? I think that's one of the phenomena that's happening. And the other one, of course, is the cherry picking, right? And this is what's considered the motivational selection of modern scientific theories and facts as sources that confirm your religious or your spiritual beliefs. And at the same time, you're ignoring the science that contradicts that religious worldview. So again, right, in terms of the logic, the flawed logic that I'm seeing, right, these are two of the major things that I'm seeing is the shoehorning and the cherry picking of the scientific information to fit their worldviews.
True indeed. A lot of times I hear it's like they say, they count the hits but ignore the misses.
There you go.
Yeah, they go with the stuff that aligns with the stuff that is like totally opposite and debunks everything you're talking about. You don't deal with that.
There you go. Right, exactly. Because you don't remember the prophecies that don't come true, right? You never remember those, right? All right. I'm good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what I appreciate is, I dropped the link to anybody when come in and join the conversation. It's the part of the show y'all come in and join in, man. Any kickback? We got some chat. You be chatty patty in that chatty, right? Well, go ahead and hit that link and let's have Addy.
They've been scared to come on the panel lately, man. I don't know what's going on out there, man. I know the pseudos ain't scared all of them.
Shaking in their boots.
Yeah. Jump on, let us know. Let us know. Are we on to something? Are we not? Are we just completely missing the base? Let us know. Let us know in the chat or jump on the panel. Absolutely.
I just appreciate, the updated lists of pseudos that are trying to do the same thing that their counterparts was trying to do. And so they bring us the same old, outdated, refurbished thing where you try to fit science, into a religious box. It doesn't fit. Matter of fact, the two separate things is totally different, right? They do not believe in the same space. Science was created by human beings. Religion was certainly created by human beings. And if you think anything other than that, I would ask you just to bring that proof. The reality is that if we're truly honest with ourselves, human beings said that God said this and God said that. God never came to nobody and said nothing. Even when they say, but, right, God didn't write the Bible, but it was inspired by God. If we're going to be honest, the human being says they were inspired by God. God never comes down and says, I've inspired you, my children. Never say that. Okay. Matter of fact, God is the damn human. Read the book. God is jealous. It's a jealous God. These are human attributes. Diabolical. I'm going to kill all the women and children. Take the virgin for yourself. That's a man saying that. It's a human being saying them type of things, right? Testing people. Why would an omnipotent, omnipresent God test Job like that? Why would he do that? God already know what Job going to do. What kind of example is that? How is that an example? God already know. He's an egomaniac at a certain point. Ah, man, I'm going to take everything. I'm going to kill that man, whole family, knowing damn well he wasn't even going to go against him. What the hell the family got to do with it? And he listening to another guy, the devil, Satan. Hey, God, I bet you take that fence away from him. Then I bet. So now the devil can actually trick God and making God forget.
He already know what's going to happen.
Yeah. How did God forget he already know what's going to happen and then would have to test Job? Somebody please help me out with this. This is what I'm not understanding. How can God forget and Moses tell God? That's why Moses probably couldn't even go to the land, because he was like, come on, God, you got to repent. How can Moses tell God to repent away from the evil that he was going to do against Israel? Hey, God, you know you did say, imagine this, yo, God abound the universe. Hey, God, you know, you said you just want to make a mockery of the people of Israel. You're going to really? Doesn't God already know? Right. So we get people bringing this same vein into our community, right? Because they're actually anti-intellectual with it. They're anti-scientific. And when we say something about it, man, all of a sudden we the bad guys. Knock it off. Knock it off. But I'm glad you put in that presentation the up-to-date pseudos. This is important to identify these things. There wasn't no identification early in the game, 13, 14, 50 years ago. You couldn't come to a channel like this. Right?
I like what you just did, right? Which you see how you just jumped into a religious worldview and started meddling with it. Right? You saw that. See, what I say is that I won't meddle in the affairs of your religious worldview. Right? I won't do that. But on the same note, you shouldn't meddle in the affairs of science. Right? You have to keep those separate, because once you start crossing that up, it gets very, very strange. Just like what the brother Unk just demonstrated, right? Because we can go in with a scientific mind and start playing around with this stuff, but yeah, but it's not going to do it doesn't do science justice, and it doesn't do your religious worldview justice when you get your wires crossed in that regard. So that's what I would say. Right. And I would also say, just as in closing for that, is that one thing that religion strives to do, it strives to describe or answer questions about the world around you. Right? That's essentially humans. That's one of the earliest attempts that humans had was religion and spirituality to describe things that were going around them. Right. And science attempts to do that as well, right? For instance, with the Big Bang Theory, we make it's man's greatest or best attempt so far to explain the origins of the universe. Not saying we know everything about the origins of the universe, right? But it's our best attempt thus far to explain our origins, right? So in that regard, right, I don't necessarily be as hard on the religious traditions, because they're doing what humans try to do. They're making sense of the world around them. But again, right, we've got better tools, right, in the 21st century to work with, right? And that's going to be science and technology.
Right. It's like you always say, it's counterintuitive. So it's not something that you're going to, just be able to figure it out using your five senses.
Yeah, absolutely. When you start talking about gods being equivalent to hadrons, it's when you're saying that a sexual relationship is akin to the strong force. It's nothing. It's nothing in our Big Bang deep dive sounded anything like the Hermopolis creation story. So we got to knock that off, right? We got to knock that off.
I think it got to the point where after getting beat up by science so long, it's like if you can't beat them, join them. So they try to join, but it's like a weird way they try to retrofit their story into the scientific view.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's something, and there's actually a name for this particular phenomenon. And we talked about this a bit as well. Let me see if I can find the name of this. Right. It's called natural theology.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let me see. I don't know, Brother Unk just stepped away for a minute.
Oh,
let me see if I can share this and see if you can see this.
All right.
Share the screen. All right, and let me know if you can see this.
All right.
I'll zoom into it. I think he has to share it on his thing.
He has to allow you to share it on.
Yeah, I think so. I think he has to allow it. Do you see it?
No, not yet.
Not yet. I'll just pull it down for now. And when he comes back, what I'll do, actually, what I can just read this off. Right. So essentially what this is, you guys just Google this. There's actually an article in Wikipedia that talks about natural theology and how it describes it. He says that natural theology, once also termed physical theology, is a type of theology in deism that seeks to provide arguments for theological topics based on reason and the discoveries of science. Right? Does that sound, like it sort of aligns with what we're talking about?
Right.
And it says that the project of arguing for the existence of God on the basis of observed so-called natural facts, right? And through natural phenomenon viewed as divine or complexities of nature seen as evidence of a divine plan or the will of God, which is included in nature itself. So again, right, there's an actual, term for this that's called natural theology. And I think natural theology was popular. This was back in the late BC era. It was like 360 BC around that time, which is before the AD era, right? You had people that would actually practice natural theology. But again, right, this sort of fell out of favor, right, with the ancient Greeks as they moved over to the AD period. But this does sound very similar to what some of those academics are doing, right? This idea of natural theology. And what I would also say is that this stands in direct contradiction to what we talk about within the scientific worldview is methodological naturalism, right? The idea that you have to explain things, right? You can't use a supernatural entity or anything outside of nature to explain natural phenomena. So natural theology is a direct violation of a cornerstone in science, which is methodological naturalism.
Right. It gets back to that God of the gaps argument.
The
things that they can't explain. Oh, well, God did that part. You know what I'm saying? And then we figure it out. You can no longer use that, and then it goes back to something that we don't understand. Like they try to take it back to something that we still don't understand yet.
Right. Stop sharing this.
Just now.
Yeah, James said, "Lean not on my own understanding." Right? Exactly. This is none of my own understanding. Of course not. We lead you to the experts.
I think James. I think he's playing right there. I don't think
peace to airplane, James. We're gonna need you for the flat Earth for the flat Earth fallout. Yeah, we're gonna need you.
But that's interesting that the Bible tells you not to lean onto your own understanding, because I think the people that made it up at some point knew, like, yo, they gonna figure this out.
You're gonna figure this out.
Yeah, don't understand it. Don't
do it.
You're not scamming. He ain't scamming. You don't understand what you don't think what you think.
Right. You really don't understand what's going on. Don't lean on that. Don't do it. You don't really. All right. That's funny.
It's crazy.
Yeah, man.
Ah, man. All right. Let me hit y'all with a clip.
What else you got?
Let's hit the clips.
Let's clip them up. Clip them up.
Yeah, we know what we're doing, man. Lean not to your own understanding.
There we go.
Trust God. Where the hell is God at when you need him? We just need him to write it. If he can just write it, we'd be better off.
If I could get $1 for how many times that. Yo, they
Oh
use
shit!
that.
Oh,
That's like the number one go-to when you catch them in the corner. Like, but lean out into your own. You don't understand everything, guys.
Lean not into your own. Okay, let's come to. We go from.
The whole argument.
Okay, so this clip right here, Mr. Armstrong in the server. He's on the sister's show.
Peace to the Discord. Peace to the Discord.
The Discord, the army.
Facts.
Yeah, army. All right, we supported by the army for real. Appreciate everybody. It's in the Discord and add to the strength. All right, you only strong as your weakest link. We got a lot of strong links in there. All right, so here we go. Let's play the clip. What is it? North America is West Africa. Promoting pseudoisms. None of them corrected. So we got to make them pseudos. I don't think, what's this? Jamila, I don't think she's a pseudo. I don't think she want to be a pseudo. Duchess, yeah, you're a pseudo. Daughter to see, yep, pseudo. Yasha Shara, Yasha Yai Shara, yep, the name pseudorize you, mixing the names together. Divine Isis 7, yeah, you out of there. And of course, Aura, she's definitely a pseudo. So we're identifying the pseudos. Sister Freedom, all of my peoples, but y'all pseudos. And this is why you're pseudos. If you're sitting on a panel and the person says this and everybody nod their head, then you're a damn pseudo. 8 to 80, blind, cripple, or crazy.
The whole argument is itself based on a fraud.
Very powerful, very powerful.
You know, just like if they start looking in the military records, they'll see that North America is Northwest Africa.
North America is Northwest Africa. No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. Let's everybody focus on their faces when he said it. Let's see if they blink. Let's see. He's so damn pseudo, he don't even know how to get the link. He know how to call FaceTime, but he don't know how to hit the link. There you go. Look, his eye in the camera. Up there in the upper left-hand corner, that's his eye.
Military records, they'll see that North America's, you know, just like if they start looking in the military records, they'll see that North America is Northwest Africa. But that's not what it's called today.
Yeah, we got new maps.
In other words, this is why people need to really understand the map of Monday. You know, it's like a lot of people will talk about the Perry Reese map and stuff like that.
Pause that.
Pause that. Did this man just say North America is Northwest Africa? Knock it off.
Crazy.
What is it? Eye in the camera.
You say now we got new maps. Like what?
New maps, yo. They said, hold on, look at their faces, yo. This is what you need to look at, ladies and gentlemen.
They're absolutely enamored.
We're gonna blow this up, dude. Definitely, this is Sunday night at the movies. We're gonna blow this up. Let's look at their faces as he say these things. No correction. Look at her right there. She's bobbing her head. Look. Janilla. You know what I'm saying? Like Jamila, the goddess. Look at her.
Oh man.
Dude, hey, all right, we're gonna focus on each one at a time. We're gonna start right here with Jamila, the goddess. There you go. We're gonna start with her first.
If they start looking in the military records, they'll see that North America is Northwest Africa.
They say, hey.
Trying to get a little.
Oh man, they shaking their head. Yes.
She wanted to jump in there.
Hello. Let's see.
She got an inner pseudo killer. Her spider senses went off.
No, it didn't. She's shaking her head. Yeah, what's wrong with y'all, man? Hold on.
Oh, did she?
Very powerful. Very powerful.
Oh yeah, this is powerful. Oh my god. Oh man.
I faked you out.
Oh man, I had faith in the sister. Oh, just let me down.
Yeah.
Powerful information. Oh my God.
She was the first one to jump out there too.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the show is over.
Hold on. Let's get it together.
Man.
Oh man, did I just shoot myself in the foot?
Hey, yo, hold on. Rewind that. We're gonna slow motion this. Let's see. Who said that? We're focusing on Geminelid. Am I sounding right? Geminelid.
Geminelid? I don't know.
Man, look, there ain't no damn Gemini. Here you go.
Oh, very powerful.
What was very powerful? She's shaking
very
her head.
powerful. Very powerful.
Wait a minute.
No, hold on.
Based in a fraud.
Hold on.
Argument is itself based in a fraud.
Very powerful. Very powerful.
Wait.
Thing. The whole argument is itself based in a fraud.
We have their bobbleheading. They're all bobbleheading. They all agree.
What that mean though? When you know, I feel like your
stop it.
A physical response is contradictory of what she's saying because she's shaking her head no.
Why she's not shaking her head no, nigga. They like yes. They're not shaking their head no.
Well, I don't know.
They getting the Holy Ghost. You know, in church when the preacher say something, you're like, yeah, they getting the Holy Ghost, yo. Seriously. Man, it's like when the preacher say Jesus rose and everybody say, yeah, they feel they go.
Very powerful. Very powerful.
You're shaking no, but you're saying yes.
Start looking in the military records, they'll see that West Africa.
Look at everybody. Look, all of them. Stop.
Oh, stop. There you go.
Let's go to look. Aura down the bottom. Yeah, she got the biggest mouth.
All right, take down James's thing. We got to see this. We got to check down James's.
Oh, y'all ain't saying that? Stop it.
No, we see it, but take down James's comment because it's covering up the sister at the bottom. There we go.
Man.
No, we can see it. No, we saw the whole thing first.
Okay, here we go.
Blow it back up.
Yeah, blow it back up.
I'm blow it back up. Watch this. Watch this. Slow motion footage. Look. They all shaking their head together. Let's see who's really not feeling. I don't think that Dot's daughter of the sea is feeling it. Let's focus on the bottom first. Let's see.
Northwest Africa.
Yes, she thinks that. She go at the bottom. We got you, Aura. See? Because you knock it off.
That's not what it's called today.
Yeah, we got new maps.
No, this is why.
Who said that? Yeah. Goddess, I got you, Sister Freedom. She said we got new maps. Can anybody in the chat drop that new map for us?
Is that the Moorish guy?
Yeah, he's a wild
guy. It just dawned on me who that was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man. Yeah, man. Here we go.
To really understand the map of Mundi, just like a lot of people will call.
The hell is the map of Mundi?
I ain't never heard of that either, man.
Map of Mundi. All right. Yeah. Oh. Gotta write. Somebody write that down, right? So I don't know.
Hey, man. Hey. Did I fall inside the rabbit hole? What is the map of Mundi? Is that a real place?
You go to sleep. Think about
Hello.
Hey, map of Mundi. Hey, man, look, man. Okay, we're having fun. We're at the movies.
Talk about the Perry Reese map and stuff like that. And then not recognize that we were all
we over there with Dot's daughter.
She's not. The very areas of what you call Kemet now, that you call near the Red Sea area, Morocco, Tunis, Algeria, etc., he cooked up, which we call Egypt, that the sand soil is exactly the same consistency, mineral and everything as it is in the land of flowers that we call Florida type thing. The whole argument.
Come on, Dot's daughter. She's shaking her head.
You said she wasn't going, she wasn't with it.
I went back. No, it started over again. She was with the first portion of it. Okay, let's move on. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move it. Yeah. We're gonna move it on. Move it on.
Hey, are all of these women part of the same ideology or religion?
No, they're not part of them. They just got a show. Yeah, okay. Everybody do the show. Everybody has a show. Here we go. We got Nisha on there. They added Nisha.
Okay.
Oh, you got Sister Noble on there. Sister Noble don't believe none of that shit. I'm gonna tell y'all right now.
Okay.
She playing. Just for the record. Yeah, Sister Noble's playing.
The position of commander-in-chief. Therefore, Trump never left office. Everything is a farce that people are looking at in mainstream news. Or Biden is a fiction.
They ain't buying that one. Hold on. They said Trump never left office.
Oh, man.
I didn't get that. Could you try?
Oh, man. Hold on. What is you doing? What is that?
Siri ain't get what you talking.
Siri, I didn't get that.
Confusing Siri. What is going on here?
Siri say, what the hell is going on? The what? Damn.
Look at this. Sister Freedom had the stank face on it. It's like, what is this man telling us?
He faded off. Look at they gonna move together. Look, they ain't feeling it.
Office, everything is a farce that people are looking at in mainstream news. Or Biden is a fiction.
Look, you gotta look at Gemini face, man.
Oh man, look at.
She say, yo, she hit us with the
Look at
so her face when he said that part with Biden being a fiction or whatever, man.
All right, hold on, yo. It's the all right, come on.
Commander-in-chief. Therefore, Trump never left office. Position of commander-in-chief. Therefore, Trump never left office. Everything is a farce that people are looking at in mainstream news. Or Biden is a fiction.
Nisha ain't moved. Ladies and gentlemen, to your left corner, Nisha did not move. Look, why she didn't move? Look, Nisha's not gonna move.
Chief. Therefore, Trump never left office. Everything is a farce that people are looking at in mainstream news. Or Biden is a fiction. CGI.
Man, I got man.
Let me finish, yo.
I got African American aunties, and I know the look when they ain't buying it. I'm just saying.
Right.
Man. Oh, whatever, man.
I don't know.
Okay. You think none of them buying it? Let's keep going.
I don't know.
Because I kept saying, didn't this man get thrown out or something? If
You
I
already know
remember correctly.
that man they're presenting ain't damn Biden.
I didn't pay no attention to the people.
You know that Biden. You're in the
got him in the rabbit hole. He got him in the rabbit hole now.
I didn't pay no attention.
That man is a pear-shaped head. That's not Biden.
What he say? He had a pear head.
Man with the pear-shaped head. He squarely has him in the rabbit hole.
Hey man, where we at? Now we're in a rabbit hole where the president has a pear-shaped head.
Like, how do you respond to that?
Wait, huh?
Just like they're responding right now. They confused.
Yeah, they confused. They don't know what to say. Somebody should say, "Get his crazy ass off this show." How they should have said.
Oh man,
man, you got to go, bro. All right.
Why do you think they keep having things where they keep falling down steps and doing dumb shit? It keeps the people to position of command.
Okay, man. That was funny, yo. We gotta have fun. Look, man, we just having fun, man. Look,
All right, man. Shout out to the sisters. Unscrambled minds, right? Shout out to the sisters.
Yeah, shout out to the sisters. We got our first call. Hey. Hey, what's going on with you, bro? Wavy, what's good, man?
What's up, brother?
What's up, Sean? How you doing, man? What's on your head, man? What it do? What
up, Wavy?
Hey, man, what's up, brother Serious B? What's up, Uncle Bobby? What's up, Kent?
What's up, man?
Man, I've been listening to y'all behind the scenes for the past 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say what's up, and I'm tuned in.
Sure,
right, that's what's up. What's up? What you think about the show so far, man? What are your thoughts?
Man, you know y'all always gonna bring the pseudos out. Y'all always gonna bring the pseudos out.
Right, we start with the academics, then we end with the community. Right, it's only right. It's only right.
That's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say about like 30 minutes ago. Y'all was definitely into the sources, and then you know it's like you said, it's only right. That's why we tuned in, man. Y'all got a great show. Like I said, once again, Uncle Serious B. I ain't know your name until now, man. I've been listening to you for a minute, but the Kent, you know what I'm saying? I'll fuck with you.
Appreciate you, man. I was about to say I appreciate you sticking with us for 2 years, man.
That was a wild ride, right?
That was a wild ride, yo. We went through a lot of changes in them 2 years.
Oh yeah,
you feel me?
It was all in fun.
It's a lot of battles, a lot of battle scars. Right?
All in fun.
Yes,
we still gonna have fun, man. You know we having fun with the sisters, man. They can't take that, man. If you sit in a band and somebody say West Africa's in America and you live in America and you don't realize you can actually take a trip to that area and see if it's there or not, I gotta get you. Yeah, we gotta get you. We can't have, come on, man. Not on our watch, man. We watching, we looking. We see them.
Yeah, that was a good clip. That was a good one.
We clipping them.
That was a good
Beware.
one. Do you want to I have another snippet from the brother Neil deGrasse Tyson. You up for some Neil deGrasse Wavy?
Yes, sir. I've been I think I've been on him about like 3 years now.
Okay.
Ooh. Kent, don't you got a clip too? Kent came to class unprepared.
But this one is interesting. It sort of talks about one of the topics that the brother Unk hits on in terms of Islam and its rise and fall as being, you know, a superpower in terms of academics and scientific advancement. And I won't belabor it. I'll let Neil deGrasse sort of explain it in his eloquent way that he does. So I'm gonna go ahead and share this, and I'll play this brief one. I thought this was really powerful. I wanted to share this with the community here.
Hey, Bernie, you also had that Reggie jump you was gonna go back to too.
Yeah, we'll get back to him. We'll get back to him. Yeah, for sure. So share this and let me know. Can you share that? Okay. All right.
Dude came on there and said anything, yo, with a whole taking advantage of them sisters, man.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Bullying them, yo. Played bully ball on them.
You know, he been running them up for a long time.
Forever.
Yeah, he's been running them up.
I seen Bashir beat the brakes off him live. It was wild. I gotta find that video.
1,000 years ago, the intellectual center of the world was Baghdad. Europe was busy disemboweling heretics at the time. Baghdad was open to all thought at the time, between AD 800 and 1100, around there. If you look at the advances that unfolded in that period, in that location, it includes the invention of algebra. Algebra is an Arabic word. Algorithm is an Arabic word. 2/3 of the stars in the night sky that have names have Arabic names. How does that happen? Where did the naming rights come from? It came from the fact that at that time, huge advances in the Middle East, in Baghdad in particular, was unfolded in engineering, mathematics, especially mathematics, astronomy, navigation. physiology. And you say, well, why is that so? If you look at what was going on, they were open to all lines of thought. Jews, Muslims, Christians. There were doubters back then. Today we would call them atheists. They would all come around a table and share ideas. If you have some philosophy that's got holes in it, someone's going to find it. And you're going to challenge you on those ideas. And what happens is the conversation ratchets up. You discard what doesn't work and you keep what does. And when you do that, you make discoveries, and you make discoveries rapidly. And at the time, that period drew to a close. If you read history books, they'll typically describe sort of the sacking of Baghdad. It was a bad time for the city. And they say, oh, it all came to an end. However, the Islamic culture rose at other times later. And in those other times, science and engineering discoveries were not a part of it. So we asked, why not? You got the cultural heritage. Why doesn't it show up again? And then you got to dig a little deeper from the sacking of Baghdad, and you find out there was a Muslim cleric, Al-Ghazali was his name, who was to Islam what St. Augustine was to Christianity. St. Augustine kind of laid out the rules for how to be a good Christian at the time. A lot of people were practicing it in their own way. He codified it. He was a religious scholar, figured it out according to his own read, told everybody how to behave. There's the book. You follow this, you're a good Christian. Al-Ghazali said, you follow this, you're a good Muslim. In that text included the assertion, which gained influence socially, but then politically, so then it had power of influence. In there was the assertion that mathematics and the manipulation of numbers the devil. The entire enterprise collapsed and never recovered. It has not recovered since. If you look at the number of Muslims who have won the Nobel Prize in the sciences, it's one. Number of Jews who have won the Nobel Prize, 1/4 of all Nobel Prizes in science have been won by Jews. How many Muslims in the world? 1.3 billion. How many Jews in the world? 15 million tops. So you look at what effect the culture of discovery and learning can have on what you discover about the natural world. It's extraordinary. So just because you're making discoveries doesn't mean it's forever. And I look at the 20th century in America as a period of great discovery. And then I see forces now operating against it. And then I look at the history of the consequences of this, and I see America just simply fading into insignificance. No, it's not off of a cliff. It's just a slope. And every next day you're a little bit further down on the slope. You barely notice it, right? Until one day you can't see over the hill that you just came from. And then you try to make do with what you have down here. And then you find out it's the rest of the world making the inventions and not you. You're trailing, no longer leading. You're not even abreast with what's going on. You're running behind trying to catch up.
You're definitely running behind.
That's
powerful.
Yeah.
Hey, we got another call, yo.
Uh-oh.
Hey, what's going on, man? I see you in here, man. Yeah, I think we.
Oh, yeah.
Peace.
What's up? What's going on, brother? We read your comment about
proving. Just chilling, man. Just trying to see what the pseudo killer's talking about.
What's up? You said you could prove something with science. Was that you? Or I got that mixed up?
Yeah, that was me.
You gonna prove what with science?
All right, here we go.
Can't hear you. Huh?
No, go ahead.
No, we couldn't hear you. Your mic is low.
Your mic. You got to prove you can use your mic.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah. What are you gonna prove using science?
It was an experiment performed in 1986 by the United States Air Force.
Okay, and what did they prove? The what?
They replicated an experiment that took place in the 1890s, the Michelson and Morley experiment. If you're familiar with it.
No, keep going. We're gonna get to it.
They attempted to basically detect the rotation of the Earth by using lasers and things like that. So in 1986, they basically performed a test in a high altitude environment. They basically went up in a plane to the stratosphere, and they performed the same test from the 1890s and came to find out they didn't detect the Earth's rotation. They actually found what they call a liquid outside of this world, and they called it the ether.
Hold on, yo. It seems like you fading more and more, yo. The black hole is getting you. The rotation of the earth is getting you farther and farther away.
Follow him in that thing, man.
Hey, can I come back? Let me just try to come back.
What's the name of that experiment?
What's the name? What did it prove though? That the earth was what though? For you die out? What?
It was it proved that the world is surrounded by water, a liquid they call the ether.
And what was the name of it? What was the name of the experiment?
The Michelson versus Morley experiment.
Ether. Okay, then what did the ether do to the earth? What did it do?
I mean, they basically just detected it was we just surrounded by water, man.
Oh, okay. Flat Earth.
I mean, I don't know. It could be more though, because they said it was held in by a great expanse that they also called the matrix. I got the documents. If you give me a second, I'm gonna go get the documents and come back.
Yeah, go get the documents.
All right, bet, for sure. I'll be back for sure.
All right, come on back. Come on back. We're gonna leave the door open.
Yeah, and they talk about the Michaels and Morley experiment, and the you probably have this. It's in the great the courses. It's evidence for modern physics, and they talk about the Michaels and Morley experiment. This is again, this was way back in the day where they were trying to either debunk or substantiate the existence of the luminiferous ether that he's talking about.
Oh yeah, that's out of here.
Yeah, so he's saying that it was some test that was conducted by the U.S. Air Force that lends credence to the idea that there's a some type of ether substance. Again, I'm not familiar with this test or this scientific experiment that he's referring to, so maybe he can provide some more detail. But in terms of what I understand today, right, in terms of that was debunked by the Michaels and Morley experiment, right? It was very highly technical. It involved submerging an object in liquid mercury, and doing detections in terms of the movement and how the object was affected. And they said that, if light could pass through it and radiation in terms of, how, it was. My understanding is that, that particular experiment was the experiment that debunked the existence of the ether. And this is something they talk about way early, since the time of the Renaissance, in terms of the ether and all of this. Descartes talks about the ether and, all of that. It's a very archaic sort of
non-ether
description. It's a very archaic description of the natural world that's no longer it's no longer used.
Are we talking about non-ether?
That's your man. That's your man. That's probably where everybody's trying to bring this ether back, right? Everybody wants to bring the ether.
If you're hearing the word ether, look around you.
Right?
Man,
if it ain't Nas, I don't trust it.
Oh man, yo.
So while he's doing that, let's pull it up. Let's pull up what he's talking about here. And let's see if I can.
You don't kill him before he come with his doc. He said he got the document.
Well, this is the this is the experiment that he's saying. He's saying that whatever the U.S. Air Force did actually debunks this. So let's see if
he said it right. This is what he said. He said, I can prove the earth is flat with scientific evidence. Then he came on here with the document. I like the way he said that. The document. Like he had, how you say something important with the document.
Oh yeah. So again, right? This is the
Wiki gonna kill him.
Right. Man. This is the this is the Michelson and Morley experiment.
Did we read this before? I think we actually read that before. Go ahead, scroll down.
I think we have. It says that the Michaels and Morley experiment was an attempt to detect the existence of the luminiferous ether, a supposed medium permeating space that was thought to be the carrier of light waves. So again, right, this whole idea of electromagnetic radiation actually is carried through this the substance, which is the ether. It says the experiment was performed between April and July 1887 by American physicist Albert A. Michelson and Edward W. Morley at what is now Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio, and published in November of the same year. Okay, so it says that the experiment compared the speed of light in perpendicular directions in an attempt to detect the relative motion of matter through the stationary luminiferous ether, right? This result was negative. So again, right, they use light waves to actually try to detect the motion, right? Because what they proposed is that they submerge this object in mercury, because they could actually put light waves through it and then detect that substance. It says the result was negative in that Michelson and Morley found no significant difference between the speed of light in the direction of movement through the presumed ether and the speed at right angles. So again, like this is highly technical. It says the result is generally considered to be the first strong evidence against the then prevalent ether theory, as well as initiating a line of research that eventually led to special relativity, which rules out a stationary ether. So this idea that you have to have the ether to propagate light waves through the cosmos was debunked here. It says, of this experiment, Einstein wrote, if the Michelson-Morley experiment had not brought us into serious embarrassment, no one would have regarded the relativity theory as a redemption. So again, right, we talk about you can't skip steps in science, right? And this experiment was one of those things that basically overthrew the prevailing argument or the existing science that said that the luminiferous ether was a real thing. So again, right, you can't skip steps. You got to debunk the ether before we get to special relativity.
So what do you think he got his documents from that actually shows that they proved the ether with this
to be known? I guess we will see if the brother jumps back on with his data.
Nah, I ain't jump back on, man.
He got up out of there quick.
He got up out of there because he was like getting away from the mic. It was like it was you know, he was fading on us. He was fading. He ain't coming back. I knew once he got out of there, I'm gonna go find that paper document. Remember how he said it?
Oh yeah,
that document.
It's I said that the Aboriginal brothers have a track record of doing this, right? When you pin them down and you try to get the source, it's like, yeah, I got that, but not right now. Let me go get that and come back.
Yeah, like
you know the old routine back in the day. It's like, hey, really? I gotta go to the house and grab it. I'll be right back. Right? Yeah.
Oh, he said,
man, we
read that. So I think he coming back. He said he glad we read that. Now he got something else.
No, man.
Yeah, that's just the, you know, in terms of the Michelson-Morley experiment, that's just the historical background of it. Maybe let's see what he has to go against that, right? I don't.
No.
And the larger question is whatever he shows, how does it substantiate? How does that substantiate the existence of the ether? That's the bigger question, right? There may be some experiment, but does it substantiate what he's claiming?
Right. What's the scientific evidence at the end of the day? Like, all the documents, what's the evidence?
Right. Yep, absolutely.
Hey, can I get the link? Can I get the link to the Discord? Man, they goddamn, I've been hearing y'all talk about that Discord so long. I need the link to the Discord, man. I heard that.
Oh man, we be in there going in there, man. I go live in there too. Y'all get some lives too.
Yeah, I'll drop the link in there. I'll create an invite and I'll drop the link in there in a second.
Shout out to
I think Mr.
Hey. Yeah, where you at? Yeah, he disappeared. Yo, he was like, oh no, time to go. Time's up, time to go.
Brendan killed the paperwork, yo.
Brendan, you weren't even supposed to shoot him that early in the game.
Shot him in the back. Shot him in the back.
Hey.
Man. He coming back. That's the news.
Hey, yeah, we got a new call in the building, man. Hey, what's going on? What's up with you, MF?
Greetings, Greetings. How y'all doing?
Dread son. I see you rocking the red, the black, and the green. What's going on, brother? What's on your head?
Gotta do it. So I don't understand why these arguments keep coming up about flat Earth. I feel like I don't know where it comes from or why people jumped on it, but I thought it was settled like a long time. Like I would say it was settled in like probably 17,000 BCE or so.
Yeah,
it's been settled for about that long. No, I wouldn't even give it to the Greeks. I would give it to whoever built Noptoplaya. Because
no, they didn't know. They ain't know.
Whoever, that's what I use. Anytime somebody comes up with that conversation, I ask them to deal with Noptoplaya and what it demonstrates. I ask them to deal with the Sphinx or Hieromarket and what it demonstrates. I ask them to deal with a Tekken and how ancient people already knew how to measure the circumference of the earth. And once I ask anybody how to deal with those three things and what they demonstrate, I've not heard any sufficient rebuttal to just those three. And those are three easy examples just from, one continent. But we could go to many other continents, get many other examples of megalithic structures, of star maps, of evidence of knowledge of precession of the equinox. But I can stick with those three. And like I said, I've not heard any sufficient rebuttal to those.
So we're here to do that. Let's rebut that. Noptoplaya, which is my favorite subject, absolutely has nothing to do with the circumference of the earth. There's no evidence for that. They just didn't know it. They was actually discovering, I believe, the summer solstice, right? Kind of like contract the monsoon rain. So if you're in the area long enough, okay, they didn't make a prediction, okay, but they're in the area long enough where they can see this thing happen, right, and detail it, do generations, right? And then you can safely say, I know this is going to happen again. But that's not actually the measure of science. That's not even being on the frontier, right? Being on the frontier is having the ability to make a prediction, okay? But understanding the seasons, right? If you spend 30 years on planet Earth, you can start to realize that these seasons are going to occur, all right? But to actually put it down on stone and kind of figure that out like that, that was big. That was definitely the start of rudimentary science right there, but not no, they didn't know that, bro. Now so explain to us how you know. I don't. No. Go ahead and explain to us how Noptoplaya, right? Proves that they had measured the earth. Go ahead, bro.
So I used the example of the Tekken to talk about the circumference of the earth. When I mentioned Noptoplaya, to me that example demonstrates knowledge of the precession of the equinox, and it wasn't just one. From my understanding, they were able to map the great year, and however many thousands of years that cycle takes, that was demonstrated in that megalithic structure. So if it was for one equinox, all right, I back out from that. If it was for just a 30-year span, all right, but I don't think it was just a 30-year span. I think they were looking at like 30,000 years.
So you think no, not at all.
How many years is the great year? I guess that's
25,000, 26,700.
Yeah. So
yeah, they didn't do that. Nope.
They didn't have that at Noptoplaya?
Hell no, they not even there. You got to be there to do that. They ain't there. No, 25,000. You saying 50,000 years? So 6,000 to 7,000 BCE.
Yes.
Okay. Add 25 to that. No, they wasn't there, yo. So ain't gonna do that. They in the Green Sahara.
This ain't me. This is Thomas Brophy. So I'm not.
We're not beefing?
Yeah. It's not my research. It's not my ideas. I'm just kind of repeating what I heard and saw from Thomas Brophy. So it seemed, legit.
Thomas who?
Thomas Brophy, Dr. Thomas Brophy.
Okay, so you got caught up in the same shit we all got caught up in. That's okay.
Is he not? He's not legit.
I've never heard of him. I'm trying to think. Did he do the excavation? No, he didn't do the excavation. My man, Wingro. Was it Wingro that did the excavation? Hold on. Here, let's get right to it. We don't got a delay on it.
Thomas Brophy wrote some stuff like mysticism demands a mechanism.
Yeah, he playing.
What else?
Yeah, he doing too much.
He wrote.
Windroff actually did the archaeological survey. And yeah, bro, we just having fun though. But hold on, let me see.
I feel you, but I think if you're not familiar with Thomas Brophy, I think it's good to catch up in order to debunk it.
Nope, I don't gotta catch up. I don't gotta run down the rabbit hole. That's the last place. Never acquiesce to a faulty premise. The dumb humans was not there. We studied the Green Sahara. You at 10,000 BCE, right? They coming out the Green Sahara. Right. So at 25,000 years ago, okay, think about it. So we study, we understand the archaeology in the area. There's no Napa playa at 25,000 BCE. Yeah, so you can come right here. Early history, 10th millennium, okay, the region at Dubar, Nubian desert, okay, received more rainfall. All right, hold on. Early people may have attracted the region due to the sources of water. Archaeological findings may indicate human occupation in the region dating to at least somewhere around 10,000 to 8,000 BCE. Windroff, that's my favorite person. So the point I'm making is they don't have no archaeological record of anybody being there that long to do what you say they was doing.
Okay.
We don't have, in that strata, we do not find any of that.
Understood.
Yeah, so that's like a stop sign for us.
I got you. So I'm not familiar with who do you say Windroff?
Windroff. He's the one that did the archaeological site there. Let me
and the furthest back he could go was 10,000 years.
Yeah, 10th and 8th millennium. Let me share this for you real quick.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I've heard 17,000, 14,000, 13,000.
Yeah, the pseudos take the work and pseudorize it. I used to say the same thing with the Sphinx line up 10,500 B. I did all that. Yeah, and if I was rude when you first came on, I apologize. But
no, you weren't rude. I ain't that sensitive.
Yeah, so that's not. Let me share my screen, and I ain't even going heavy source on you. I'm just going to like something we can all read together.
Yeah, I'm with that. Put the
do that.
If you put a link in the back chat or whatever, I'll copy it. I'll paste it. I'll go read it.
All right, yeah, read the whole wiki article. Right. Start with that, and then there's some sources you can peel off of that. I'll put this in the back for you. All right. Yeah, I put that in the back right there. That's the wiki article. So when we come to the wiki article, oh man, where the hell I put that in? It's talking about, I don't want that. Damn it. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Nope. I think I should be there. Hold on. I don't want to share that tab. Hold on. Okay. So, all right, right here. So, all right. Interglacial period. So we know they weren't doing nothing doing there. All right, Savannah. Okay. So if you go all the way back to periods, okay, there's good evidence that there are several human periods in the past. Okay. Most recent one during the last interglacial and early last glacial periods, which stretched between 130,000 and 70,000 years ago. During this time, the area was savanna and supported numerous animals such as extinct buffalo and large giraffes, variety of antelope and gazelle. It says, beginning around the 10th millennium BCE, this region at Nubian Desert began to receive more rainfall, filling the lakes. Early people have been attracted to this region due to the source of water. Okay. Now it talks about archaeological findings may indicate human occupation. This is important. So people take advantage of us not knowing these things. They take advantage of our love for history and our love for Black people and our love for Africa, and they exploit it. They go far above the archaeological record. All right. Europeans have been doing this at a high level. It says findings indicate occupation in the region dating to at least somewhere around the 10th and the 8th millennium BCE. This your guy right here. All right. Okay. Fred Windroff was an American archaeologist. Why is Fred Windroff so important? All right. Let's pause for one moment and let me come here got the tab open already. I want to get to the here we go. Okay, let me share this instead. All right, so if we come here, y'all should be able to see the screen. This is a list of museums in Egyptian antiquities. Now, Grand Museum, Egypt, over 100,000 artifacts. Due to being partly opened in 2018, currently housed in the Egyptian Museum. Now watch this. The British Museum, London, England, UK, over 100,000 artifacts. This is in the museum. You ain't know all them ain't on display. Okay? It's
not at all.
Not, watch this, not including the 2001 donation of 6 million artifacts from Windroff's collection of Egyptian and Sudanese prehistory. Now, 6 million artifacts for Windroff. Like he studied the Nubian thing. Yeah, he beat you up. This the weapon we used for 2 years when we was arguing about the Nile Valley. This man donated 6 million artifacts, and not hell no have they been cataloged and none of that. We don't know what they got 6 million of. Do you know how 6 million artifacts?
Yeah, that's a lot of artifacts. I'm about to say that.
Like, what we talking about here? That far exceeds, that shows the slow progress of the area that we're talking about. So I'm glad you brought that up, brother. Maybe we will find something that talks about that. But as of today, they don't got it. But they sure as hell got 6 million artifacts. So Windroff is our man on this subject right here. Right? We got his books, book 1, book 2. If you get in the survey, you can get you the books. Read the skeletal finds and all that stuff and the measures they found. Okay? They make the statement back then. Remember, they was using the term Negro. Like, these is Negroes. Look, we can go right back here. Hold on, let me get right back here. Right? We know Negro is a non-scientific term. All right. So let's do this. Hold on where I'm at. Right here. All right, let's go back here. Okay, so we Windroffing right now. All right, we coming here. Christopher Eric, discoveries, have suggested that the people who occupied this region at the time were early pastoralists. Of course they was. We talk about the cattle cult, right? Because the cattle remains found not impounded and shown in morphological wild serial studies nearby Sahara sites. Hold on, Barbary sheep. Hold on, let me get down here. Just strongly associated with the fish combs, adorned, complicated painted patterns created perhaps by using combs, made from fish bones, and which belonged in the general pottery tradition. We call it the wavy line pottery. This is important. Understand that. Strongly associated with the southern parts of the Sahara. A.E. Khartoum. All right. This is where we find those old grave sites. This is where we find the ritual, and we talked about it in nausea. We talked about the burying of the king. All right. And the sacrifice, the human sacrifice. This is where we find the early human sacrifices at. Various showing that these cultures is older than the other components on the Nile. That the tradition, of kingship is there first. Let me see. Hold on. Analysis of human remains by Fred Windroff reported the Holocene. We talk about the Holocene. We talk 10,000 BCE. We familiarize ourselves with these terms so that we can't get tricked. Settlement of the Egyptian Sahara based on archaeological data suggests a sub-Saharan origin for the site's inhabitants. A dental and skeletal analysis by Joe D. Iris also tentatively suggests a sub-Saharan African affinity and origin of not-to-ply inhabitants, with sub-Saharan tendencies most commonly detected, but also possible North African tendencies, and some concluding that Hedgebird suggests that not-to-ply people may have been most similar to the Negritos from the south of the Sahara. They say the present quantitative dental comparisons tentatively support this conclusion. Some researchers, include Christopher Eric, have suggested a Nilo-Saharan linguistic affinity. Okay, for Nabta Playa people. Where you go, 7 million BCE, large, this was of great interest to me. Large organized settlements were found in the region. Relying on deep well sources of water, small huts were constructed in straight rows. Okay, substance including wild fruit, linens, millets, sorghum, and tubers. Also in the late 7 million BCE, but a little later than time referred above, goat, sheep apparently imported from Western Asia. Okay, appear. All right, many large heaths also appear. You know, that's maybe cooking. But that's the pottery right there. Familiarize yourself with all that. Then talks about the religious ties. And then a lot of times people overemphasize that tumuli, stone tumuli. All right, know what a stone tumuli is. They're kind of like mounds and stones. And then there's going to be a progression. They start out with tumuli, and then there's a progression with the mastabas, and then they stack the mastabas, and then you get, later on, you'll find the step pyramids, and then you start to reach perfection with the bent pyramid, and then they got to fix that, and then you get, to the pyramids in the Old Kingdom. All right, so nobody jumps steps. So by the 6th millennium, evidence of prehistoric religion and cult appears. Of course, it's the cattle cult. And we know that cattle cult ranged all the way to North Africa. This was always the point, that people was not stuck, that they traveled back and forth. And this cattle cult, this old Nubian cattle cult, okay, you find in North Africa. Egypt is in Northeast Africa. I'm gonna say it again, Northeast Africa. We use maps. We talk geography. We talk strata. These are the things that simplify. Once you understand these ideas, it simplifies it, and you start to catch on, and you can kind of understand what's real good. So you won't get tricked like I was tricked early on. And I made similar statements like you made, bro. It's just what it is. We just wasn't, at least you were more advanced than I was at the time. Because if I'd have ran across a person saying what I was saying, knowing what I thought I knew, we'd have been fighting right about now. At least you up. At least you can have a conversation. At least you reading and comprehending what you're reading. So we guide each other. So, and it talks about the cult, sacrificial cow barriers. But this is the part I like. The religion cult appears about 5,500 BCE, late Neolithic period began. It said with the new group, they had a complex, social, expressed in large degrees of organization and control not previously seen. These new people were responsible for sacrificial cattle barriers and clay-lined roofed chambers covered by rough stone tumuli.
Are you sharing it? Are you sharing what you're reading? I see the museum collection. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool.
So talk about the organization, what kind of skills they had. They was on a high level. Then they Nile Valley component, all right, and they shared the cattle cult, and then some suggest, they indicate that the cult, ancient Egyptian Mother Hathor cult, cattle cult, of course, she's a cattle, all right, and we see these people way prior to approximately 7,500 BCE, okay, so this is before ancient Egypt, all right. Simple as that. It's a Megalithic stone structure buried underground. Rough megaliths, stone structures buried underground are also found in Nabta Playa. This is something they never talk about. One of which include evidence of what Windroff describes as perhaps the oldest known sculptures in Egypt. Remember, we had fools talking about the oldest stone, this and that is in Egypt. Y'all remember that like it was yesterday. Remember that, right? Yeah, but he didn't go to the archaeological record where these buried stone cattle was, large statues. That's your guy, though, Windroff, right here. All right. So, yeah, I done seen people dive off here you go, right here. This is what you want to talk about? UNESCO, it's a site, UNESCO. Then claims for early alignment of star maps. You might find your guy. What's the name of your guy? What you talking about? Thomas G? Did he say Brody? Brophy? Did he say that?
Yeah, something like that.
Was that the guy's name?
I think so. I think that's the name you mentioned.
Dr. Thomas Brophy.
I didn't say he was a doctor. It said astrophysicist Thomas Brophy suggests a hypothesis that the southerly line of these stones inside the calendar circle represent 3 stars of Orion's belt. And other 3 stars include calendar circle representing shoulders and heads of stars Orion as they appeared. These circumstances were for 2 dates, 4,800 BCE and processional, what's this? Position representing how the sky moves along long term. Brophy proposes that the circles were constructed and used prior than later dates. All right. It says, and dual date representation was conceptual representation of the motion of the sky over processional cycles. Yeah, but he don't got nothing. He got 6,270, 6,400. Yeah, none of them reached the dates of 25,000, all that. So you can't even do, you know what I'm saying? And that's just tentative. They don't actually have something solid. So if you read all the research and all that, and yeah, so we never want to overemphasize, the things that we have. We want to keep it right in there, because if we do anything more than that, then we done did too much, and now we run the risk of being pseudo. Mm-hmm. And that's what all the pseudos do. They'd take something 7,000, make it 57,000. We don't got to. Our history is rich enough. The history in Africa is rich and it's old and it's ancient, and we don't got to add nothing to it. And that's why we stay undefeated in this, because we don't got it. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. This is something I just had to learn that. It's patience. And, you pop up again. Can we hear you, brother? You got 2 icons in there. Oh, yeah, thing ain't even coming through. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's where we at with that. 84,000 in the building, man. I'm going to drop the link again.
Right.
Anybody want to add to that?
But yeah, I like how you just did that. When you mentioned, it was interesting when you talked about the Nubian collection of at the British Museum, because I was there in 2015 and didn't see any of that.
Hey, you ain't
I even have the companion collection to the to the exhibits there, in terms of the collection at the British Museum. And I went into the index and didn't see, I saw some references to Nubia, right? And went into the actual text of this book, but it was always talking about Nubia in the context of Egypt, right? It was never showing me an actual Nubian artifact, right? Like, for instance, it had some conversation about Senwar II and, the annexation of the Nubian territory down there. Shout out to the Magi, right? Yeah, I'm in your territory right now. So if I mess it up, I apologize. But again, yeah, it doesn't talk about the, the Nubian collection there, which, I guess it's unfortunate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously these collection guides are not comprehensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, they show us how incomprehensive with the 1 million, all 6 million. It says 6 million. Didn't it say 6 million?
Yeah, 6 million. It probably had a lot of microglyphs and smaller one things, but yeah, those are important pieces.
How long was he sending these things to them? Like how long?
No, he just gave his collection over.
Just gave him the whole thing.
Yeah, gave him the whole thing. So I could actually bring up scholars to say, when you down there in Nubia, Khartoum, when you in that museum, he said when he I forget, might have been it wasn't Windroff. I'm trying to find it. He said when he went down there, he was like, "What the hell is this?" He said, "Is this Egypt?" Thought he was in Egypt. Like, no, this is not Egypt. No, this is not Egypt. That's why, man, I can guarantee y'all that if y'all went to the Sudanese museum, close your eyes, opened up, you would think you was in. I bet you couldn't tell the difference between Egyptian artifact and the Nubian artifact. Y'all be hard pressed.
Right.
Yeah, I think we talk about the cultural entanglement. But go ahead, Brendan.
Yeah, but speaking of making measurements of the earth, right? We couldn't let that slide in without giving you the real academic sort of explanations of this, right? Because we never want to let anybody out of the back door. And I'm going to share something as well. This is going to be very brief here, and I know this is an academic or of one of those very early scientists that we always talk about. And if you can share this screen up, this is our man Eratosthenes, right?
Yep,
this is
the
Greek scientist. So can you guys see this on the very right? We talk about the cosmic calculations of the measurements of the earth, right? So this is going to be one of the first successful calculations in terms of how we measured the earth early on in ancient Greece. So I want to read through a bit of this. This is going to give you just a scientific background, right, in terms of in standard academia, how this was first done. It says the first accurate estimate of the Earth's circumference was made by the Greek scientist Eratosthenes in about 240 BC. It says Eratosthenes knew that the sun passed directly overhead in the Egyptian city of Syene. This is modern day Aswan, on the summer solstice, in that on the same day, the sun came only within 7 degrees of the zenith in Alexandria. Okay, that's a scientific method. That's the first thing you do in an observation. He made an observation of that 7-degree differential, right, at the summer solstice in terms of the shadow, right? He's using sticks now, right? So it obviously said, that's interesting, right? So what it says he concluded that Alexandria must be 7 degrees of latitude north of Syene, making the north-south distance between the two cities 7/360ths of the Earth's circumference, right? So making the assumption, it was like, okay, well, the ancient Greeks, right, knew, they had a concept of the Earth was round. It says, okay, that 7-degree differential is 7 degrees of that total 360 degrees of the Earth's circumference. So this is one of the first observations. So how did he measure the circumference of the Earth? Right? He says Eratosthenes estimated the north-south distance between Syene and Alexandria to be 5,000 stadia. It says the stadium was the Greek unit of distance, which means that 7 of 360th times the Earth's circumference equals the 5,000 stadia. So he took information that he knew, the distance between Alexandria and Aswan being 5,000 stadia. He says, okay, right, if that is the 7/360ths of the Earth's circumference, then that 5,000 represents those 7 degrees, right? If you kind of follow me. So what he did, he said, is he multiplied both sides by 360 over 7, which gives us the Earth's circumference, right? So that 360 over 7 times the 5,000 was that 25 or that 250 stadia, right? Which if you do that calculation, is very close to the 40,000 kilometer circumference of the Earth that we see today. So that was a very ingenious way of calculating the Earth's circumference. And for some mathematics at 240 BC, you got to give it to the man. He was pretty sharp in doing that. He says, based on the actual size of the Greek stadiums, he said, we estimate that the stadium must have been about 1/6 of a kilometer each, right? He says, making Aristophanes measurements 250,000 stadia over 6, around 42,000 kilometers, right? So which is very close. It's very close in terms of what we know with the Earth's circumference today. So I like this little illustration here. It talks about that 7-degree differential that you could actually observe, right? And this is a measurement that you can actually do today. They thought, yes, you can pull up people online that's actually done this particular method that Aristophanes did back in ancient Greece.
Yeah, they can't get past that.
No, you're not gonna be able to get past this.
Like,
no,
like, man,
it's that's a very interesting. Like you say, the scientific method starts with an observation. So you know, observing that 7-degree differential between both areas and saying right and making it and actually calculating that in your mind and saying, it's like, I think this is the 7 degrees that we see, 7 degrees of the Earth's circumference. That is a very astute observation. So
they would have to explain that, because if the Earth was flat, you get both of the lines would be the same. What was it? If both of the lines would be the same size or something like that?
It would be, yeah, it would be the same. You would see no differences there.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, explain that one.
That's it.
Yeah. He said he coming back. I don't know.
It's the man Aristophanes. How, sorry if I'm butchering his name. What do you think about that, Wavy? We always bringing that science. Evidence is pesky, right? You know, the facts are stubborn things.
I like how peeped it from the get-go. He pretty much said they come with pseudo information, and they come with the information and they pseudo it all up. So he sniffed it out from the jump that the years is gonna be off. So once he read the source, and it pretty much had the guy that he was speaking on, and the date was off. So cleaned it from the get-go, but he kind of knew where he was going from the get-go. So yeah, it's all about reading the source right and understanding it, and not you know what I'm saying, putting your own information on.
Right.
Yep. James said it right. Unc don't got his own information. he was hating though.
as if that's a bad thing, right?
Right, James. For the record, James, you're a hater. Wherever you're at, James, you're hating. Not talking about James Modesty. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about not airplane James. I'm talking about James.
Oh, Pan-African James.
Right. Pan-African hater. I'm gonna call him a Pan-African hater. He be hating. Unc don't got his own information. He use everybody out. He think you know more than you know. I don't. That's why I use the experts. I just familiarize myself with the fields.
Hey, look, you probably said what that dude said before. You probably was down that rabbit hole at one point.
I was the pseudo in the rabbit hole.
He's heard this argument before, right?
That's why I knew what it was.
He mentioned, he said, I think I've heard that.
Look, 26,000. Look, I'm gonna hit you with it. Watch this. 26,000 years. 26,000 years ago, right? That's the great equinox, and they measured this. So they mean they got to be there for another 26,000 years to watch it and detail it, right? So that's 2 great years. 26,700, 26,700. How much is that? Then you got to do it one more time to make sure it's right. That's damn near 100,000 years these Africans watch the sky and detail. That's some bullshit, dog. That's not actually how that went down.
Oh man,
I did too much.
Kind of like with the it's kind of like saying the Africans understood the Big Bang with the same thing.
Oh man,
so you caught that from the
jump. We talk about it. And I just had to flash the source in terms of where we were getting the information from, Aristophanes, and this is from the Cosmic Perspective. This is 8th edition. So yeah, this is my joint here in terms of astronomy.
I gotta get that. I ain't seen that one.
Yeah, I'll shoot this to you. I'll shoot this to both of y'all, man. This is collegiate level material right here.
True indeed.
Powerful information, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Found this video for y'all.
Which one are you looking for, man?
Expert. I've been waiting to share this.
You got to share it right now?
Nope, I gotta find it. Let me drop this link. See if we get some people coming in want to join now.
Yeah, hey, with the stream y'all do, it make it where you can make Like other people, co-host, where we can control the button. Oh, okay.
No, you ain't control no buttons. That's why you got you got damn do it like Zoom. Do you know Zoom click us all up? Bop.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I got brother Reggie teed up for the big screen. We got him teed up for the summer jam when you're ready too.
Yeah, we got you. All right, here we go again.
Yeah,
man, you have technical difficulties, huh, brother?
Yeah, I was in and out. You know, it was between Safari and Chrome. You know how they do. So,
oh man, did you hear the brother's breakdown though?
I did. I picked up on it. I heard it. I saw the link about the 6 million artifacts. I saw the link about Eratosthenes, and I did hear about him one time before, mentioned by Dr. Asa Hilliard. So I was familiar with that study that he did with the sticks and the 7 degrees. That I appreciate you going into more detail on that though. And then the other example was the Sphinx, I think. Did y'all go over that one too?
No, I don't think he said nothing about the Sphinx. No, I ain't saying nothing about the Sphinx.
No, I don't think so. Did you mention anything about the Sphinx song? I don't recall.
Nah.
Oh, okay.
I ain't had to. Ain't no people there to build a Sphinx.
And not the Ply, that was way before, right?
Yeah, not the Ply is way before the Sphinx. But
yeah,
right.
So
we all learn it.
So you mentioned the Nopta Playa had those structures underneath, I guess. That was over.
It had stones like cattle.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
the oldest stone structure in Egypt. Most people don't know that. They don't study archaeology. They just, be having fun. But I love archaeology. As a matter of fact, just to actually, since once you get tricked, it's like getting beat. Once you get beat one good time, and then get beat, and getting beat, you was teaching people misinformation, man. And you spent 5 years in the cult, then taught people misinformation, man. That's where my vigor come from, yo. Like, I'll never let another nigga get me like that again. White, black, green, purple, or orange. That's why, sometimes I come off bold, but y'all not doing me like that. Like, I wasn't even raised to get got like that. I felt offended that I got like that. I didn't get got like that in Baltimore, Maryland. Right? Let alone get tricked, right? Think I'm getting on some. That's how we get tricked, because we want to know, bro. We starving for education, right? A lot of times we run right from the damn education. The stuff was always in the libraries, in the schools, and the walk down the street, go to your general library, you could have found a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, I
but these charlatans, they trick you.
I appreciate it. I said I appreciate you walking through it like you did. That's the only reason I really called back though, was to say thanks for your time, and I'll be around.
Yeah, keep studying, put it together, yo.
All right, peace.
Yeah, so don't trick me. I'm going hard. That's why I go hard, because they tricked me. And I felt like, it was times I gave kids information. The president was black, John Hanson. I'm not sending no more kids to school like that to be in this class thinking he got something, disrupting the class with the bullshit. Imagine that. You know what I'm saying? So, if some things I had to fix. So whenever I'm, doing my thing, and it seems like I'm going hard because, hell, you don't got, how they said, an intelligent person learn from other mistakes. A fool learns from his own. I had to learn from my own. I'm saying you don't play the part of the fool. So I actually, been around long enough to go through those steps like that. I can take you from pseudo to science. That's why it's hard to get out of that. You ain't going to get around that. I mean, a person that been through, all of us, as a matter of fact. Right? Can't know it.
Yeah. Man, I was about to tell you, when I was in high school, yo, we had a substitute, a Muslim dude as a substitute teacher. And like he went off track. He was supposed to be teaching us what was it, probability and statistics. And like he just went off track and started talking about conspiracy theories, yo. Like putting all kind of stuff on the board. So it's like, I don't know. I get frustrated when I see people getting tricked nowadays. When I hear people giving other people false information and other people just going for it, I don't know, it just does something to me, man. Like you said, that vigor, yo, you just want to make it look stupid at the end of the day. Get people to stop following them and all kinds.
I don't know, man. So it's just
man, pseudo beginnings, right? Nobody just owns this book.
Oh yeah, the Kabbalah. You was on a Kabbalah road.
Nobody just owns this.
Yeah, you was on a Kabbalah.
What is? Oh man. Yeah, nobody just owns this. So yeah, we all have our pseudo beginnings, right? Not that I believed a word of it. I was just fascinated by weird esoteric information like that. So
hey Brendan, what you know
that
about
counts?
What you know about that one, yo?
Rule by secrecy. Nah.
This is what the Muslim teacher got me to go and get, yo.
Oh man, it looks like you put it through its paces. It looks like you put it through its paces.
Read that joint front to back, yo. Look, talking about the hold
that
on.
Was your hey.
Look at the top jump.
Oh man, yep.
Trilateral Commission, the Freemasons, the Great, all that.
That's it. The Trilateral Commission. I haven't heard that one in a long time.
I was on that rabbit hole for
it was in a conspiracy theory, right? That's a conglomerate of conspiracies.
Man.
Yeah. You got a clip you wanted to play?
Back in the day.
Yeah. You got a clip you wanted to play?
You on mute?
Yeah, I can't find it.
Oh,
I got the video, but it's can't find it.
Okay.
Must not be the time to bring that out. But yeah, we all got the pseudo beginnings. That's why we so savvy with it. You know, I can just recall like yesterday, Ken had a pseudo organization. No, I'm joking.
I did that. We were there.
I've seen those yearbook pictures. I've seen those yearbook pictures.
Yeah. Nah, you on that pseudo, yo. You was fighting for the truth, yo. You should bring me in.
Yeah,
you know. I say bring me in. You know, take care of everything: breakfast, lunch, dinner, hotel.
Yes, sir.
All that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what drew you. I don't know. Right? Yeah, whatever drew you to me, right? Maybe you ain't get what you expected. You was like, what? That's the white people shit. I remember you saying that, yo, like it was yesterday, bro.
Yeah.
I remember telling people that was more than one humanities. That's why I laugh when the Fakians say stuff like that. Because I remember standing in front of a group of people trying to explain to them how life come out the water, which it does.
Yeah.
Right? But in different rivers and lakes, in different parts, like Europeans came from a different area. They came out the water there. Such came out of there, right? And they formed that. I didn't know what the hell I was talking about.
You know what?
And so
go ahead. No, go ahead.
So that's how I learned to tweak the game right. What the hell was I fucking thinking? Okay, what was the problem in what I was doing? Okay, I had no foundation of what evolution was because I wouldn't have said the things that I say. 1, 2, I didn't understand what a source was. 3, I thought it was okay to make that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like talk. Don't bring, and I had books, but did the book support what I was saying? I've read Dr. Ben's book. I tell everybody I read the book and it was saying we ain't monkeys. How you read Dr. Ben's book and deny evolution? That's why it was easy to catch SETI. Because I did the damn thing. That's why it's easy to catch people. I did the shit. But go ahead, Ken.
That's who brought me. That's when I brought me to you. But that's how I got exposed to your information. Because SETI went on your show when you had the TV show down here,
The Real Black Atheist of Atlanta.
Him was on there. Y'all was talking about Sheikh Diop and all of them, they books and all of that. And then I think I started watching your debate. I think you debated a pastor or something like that.
Yeah, he ain't a pastor.
I like how he did that. You know what I mean? So I didn't see your evolution videos yet until I met you. And matter of fact, when old girl put us in contact, then she was telling me about how you was feeling about the evolution. But I was with you when you were talking about that when you was going against some pastors though.
It got too deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was it get too deep. When I say get too deep, like so everybody want to know Black history. This is what I really want to say, right? And so I figured out that the best tools to use if you really want to know Black history is to understand it through the lenses of science. And there's certain studies that you will use that will help you understand Black or African history. Okay? You're not listening to Phil Valentine and them, right? And all of us, to a man, everybody listening, pseudos even agree that African people is the oldest people on planet Earth. Built the oldest civilizations. We say that to a man, and then you say, yeah, evolution. They was like, nah. Well, then where's your proof? Because that is the proof. That's how we prove it. We prove it. John Jackson tell you, you find it. Charles Darwin, place where you find the oldest bones. Okay. Then sooner or later, we're going to find man's relatives. So wherever you find the most ancient bones of something, right, you can pretty much figure out that's where that thing evolved at. Now, that's Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin put everybody up on Africa. Yeah, it wasn't, that's real. Right? So if you don't like his information and what he used, he made a scientific prediction. He ain't found no damn ancient bones in Africa. Matter of fact, during that time, they ain't found none of that. And he circumnavigated the globe. Okay? But, so yeah, we talking about we come from Africa, but yet deny evolution. But that's the story. That is the story. That supports your stance that African people come from Africa. How do they deny that, but say that? So we become walking contradictions in the face of science. So yeah, that's why, we give the people what we give them, man. So yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, it's important, man. So don't let anybody want to come through, man. I think we had a powerful show, man. 75,000 strong in the building, man. We're gonna have to go live. Yeah.
Hey, but can I say something real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, I feel like I found you from Sanetta, you know what I'm saying? And I think it was the where you was doing I was fucking with Steady, and you was doing a presentation, and Steady was like trying to debunk. He was trying to like say you was wrong about evolution or whatever. And I think that's kind of where I clung on to you with the science. But I just want to say, within these past like 2 years, like, I don't know, man. It's like I'm in a fucking master class. I talk to people, and it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like I see where I was, and I see where I am, and like so I talk to like somebody that say we've been here. They feel like we indigenous to America. You feel me? And I tell them, you know what I'm saying? Like, first you got to believe in DNA, and second of all, if I buy a brand new video game and they starting the video game at the middle of the game, you feel me? I'm gonna feel fucked up because I just bought a brand new video game. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what the black people that claim Indians do. It's like they starting the game at the middle of the video game. Like the Indians, they fucked on our grandmothers and stuff like that, but you got to start at the beginning of the video game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Facts.
Yep.
Man, he's still talking in that chat. Man, hit the damn link, man. I cannot. What is wrong with you, man?
How convenient. The show's over now. I got my source
I
now.
got the
right?
sources. What y'all doing? We ain't going away. We're going to hold on. Nah. Look. Nah. Let me take that out. Look how easy that was. Nah.
I was just getting ready to come on.
Yeah, y'all going to stop the show. Y'all ain't got to stay on. Y'all can't stay. I don't got it. I tried. Man, stop it. We ain't going nowhere. You look, watch this. Look. See, we can take that out.
Right on. You're still going.
Right back
out. Faked you out. I wanted to see. Fake them out. All
right. Go ahead, jump on, brother. Let's talk.
Look at this. Look. You say there's obviously genetic differences amongst the 5 races, and you want us to believe we come from the same ancestors. Man, God.
We 99.9% genetically the
Give you the
same.
love the whole show, man.
99.9% genetically the same.
Yeah, you tripping. I mean, we were giving them love the whole show.
Yeah.
Make you ain't even know you before the day. Hold on, man. Come on, man. You know we always got a source, man. Let's count you genetic distance real quick. Let me share the screen, man. Okay. Nope, I ain't sharing nothing. Oh, I see what it is now, yo. You got the thinking about. I figured you out. Oh, hell no, you're done. Yeah, we see the picture in your back. Yeah, we see it. Go ahead, bro. Do your thing, 903. We see your picture in the background. You having fun.
Can you hear me?
We see the picture now. We see you. We see the picture. We figured you out.
Man, you see the matching skin complexion, man. Quit playing.
All right. Talk to us. What you got? The match.
Man,
I
wanted to email, man. I wanted to actually send y'all the source. I wanted to send y'all the information.
You can put it right here in the chat, in the back. Look, private chat. Okay, man, you gotta do all that. Look, here you go. A-N-O.
Let me fall back and try it again. I got you.
What?
No, come on, man.
Do you have it? Do you have it on your phone or something?
Yo, you guys,
give us a synopsis of what you're talking about on the source. Now y'all.
Hey, nah, man.
Quit. Nah, man. You guys stop it.
Keep playing, yo.
Stop it, man. Come on, son.
I got it. I don't got it. I got it.
I got it. I don't got it, but I got it, but I don't got it. Y'all see the matching skin complexion right there?
I'll be right back.
See that? I'll be right back again.
I'm about to leave. I was just about. Come on now.
My bad, bro.
Yo, you gonna come with a high level source and you didn't get your technology together yet.
I mean, I don't even got to give y'all the source. Can we just talk about it?
Nah, we want to.
Give him a break.
Just give us a synopsis
Chef,
of the
give
source.
Can't give him a break. You right, bro. Don't worry about the source. Talk to us. What you got?
Man, shit up. Basically, man, they found the water outside the world. What the hell water doing in space?
Water's all over space. Water's on the sun. Water's around. That's how they tell black holes is the water around it. That's how they identify black holes. Water's all through the cosmos. Go ahead.
Microscopic evidence of water is in the cosmos, not like a vast amount, like a matrix field of water. Like they saying, like the whole world is, we basically live underwater, bro.
So this water that you speak of,
H2O,
is it water in the sense of H2O, like the brother said, or is this some other type of waters that we talk about, the waters in relation to the ether, right? Because the ether is something different than water, right? As described in the archaic description of it, right? When they believed in the ether, they didn't describe it as water. So is this water as we know it, or is this something different than what our understanding? I'm just trying to get some more clarity.
I honestly think it's one and the same. I think it's just the waters above. Even the government mentioned that they called it ether. They damn said these white people, they called it ether.
So because they white, that means what?
Hey, they verified that we 9 ether beings, bro. I mean, we came from
We're what? Oh, there we go. You just did it. You put the 9 on it. Now we know exactly where you're going.
On it. Because your hair curls to the sun. Am I not right or wrong, brother?
Yeah, just based off I can go off the Egyptian depiction of what they were trying to say. The goddess Nut, in her body, she's protecting like the land and everything. I forgot that goddess name, but she has the stars in her body.
Newt, Chef, Tefnut, and Gail, right? Newt, Tefnut, and Gail.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
that's a man, yo.
And on the back of Nut is riding nine Egyptian guys.
Okay, explain it.
In a boat. I mean, you can go Google it right now. Just go type in the goddess Nut, and you'll see.
We had it up earlier, right? We were having a description, and this is the according to the Heliopolis cult center of Atum, right?
So they had a boat in heaven, yo.
Yeah, this is the description. I'll show it to you if you can see it. We touched on it today a little bit.
Cool.
Right? And this image here, right? If you pull that up, Ankh. So essentially, this depiction here of it says that the details of air god Shu, assisted by other gods, holds up Nut. So I'm presuming Shu is the god with the arms outstretched.
Mm-hmm.
Holding up, it holds up Nut, the sky god, as Geb, right? The earth lies beneath, and this is Geb is on the bottom. So you've got Shu, you have Nut and Geb, right? So
Correct.
this is that the Egyptian creation myth as told by Heliopolis. So this is what you're talking about, the ancient cosmology, and you say that they have a concept of a non-ether.
Yeah, in certain depictions they had the Egyptian guys riding inside of a boat, and it's actually, if you count them, it's 9 guys inside of boats riding in water. Like, that basically implies that, like, shit, it's water out there. You can't go to space on no damn rocket. You need a boat or a submarine to get to space.
Hey, bro, earlier you said you had evidence, though, right, that the earth was flat, scientific evidence, right?
I mean, yeah, if we surrounded by water, then it's bitch flat, y'all.
So what does that mean, though? Help us out. If we surrounded by water, it's flat. Put that together for us. Come on, yo.
Only way I can. Okay.
Maybe you defeat yourself when you won't be able to explain it. Because that's how I did. I defeated myself. I just couldn't explain it.
Well,
beat yourself into submission.
Yeah, you beat yourself.
Man. Technically, like, I don't know. Have you ever heard of the cosmic egg theory?
No. I heard the cosmic egg, though. I didn't know it was a theory.
Unfortunately, yes, I've heard of it.
Okay. Do you know anything about the Saturnalia? Like the
Saturnalia?
Like
nope.
I'm sorry. Say that again. Which?
The concept that we live inside of a cube within the cosmic egg.
Okay.
Basically, I know everybody here familiar with Mecca, right?
Mecca. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the big black cube.
Mm-hmm.
There's the truth right there in your face. I apologize for the helicopter.
Oh, no, you good. We'll keep on explaining, yo.
But
See,
yeah, basically,
about water, then it got to be flat.
Oh, and also, I mean, like, that gets rid of, like, the globe, the concept of, like, galaxies and stuff like that. Like, my source I was trying to present, like, they even mentioned in the source that, like, Newton's theory of relativity was basically debunked. Like, it proved it wrong. Like, it's not like systems of planets.
Hold on, what happened?
You got rid of galaxies. So what is Anthony that's on the pseudo? Because what is he taking pictures of with his telescope if ain't no galaxy?
Man, you know, it's a little man in there flashing pictures, yo. Every time he do
galaxies, brother.
I'm not saying it ain't stars and stuff like that, because, like, we obviously see those. We don't need
galaxies, brother.
Yeah, galaxies. Stars form galaxies.
I mean, most of what they show us is CGI anyway.
But
they ain't seen nothing out there for enough, y'all.
You got a brother on the squad, on the team, that actually has a telescope, and he looks at galaxies. He shows us the pictures that he gets of his galaxies through his telescope. So what are you saying he's looking at? Because he has an actual telescope that he's taking these pictures with.
Well, why the hell we paying NASA so much money? They should be able to show us all this shit too, right?
We ain't paying. What you mean paying?
They do, but you can do this too. That's the crazy part about it. You can get a telescope and you can look up in the night sky.
Again, I got one.
I've had a few. I had a few telescopes.
And you can't see nothing.
I mean, I watched the moon and everything, but, like,
you probably need that little man to show the flashcards every time you go to a certain part. There's a little man that pop up in your telescope, yo. And he flashed the picture. So you're right. Ain't no stars up there.
But for real, like, so knowing that Anthony's showing you these galaxies that he's looking at through his telescope, he's not tricking you, not like that. Can you at least admit that galaxies exist?
I mean, there may be something out there, but it's not something that man can go out there and interact with. No, we haven't been in space. It's impossible.
No,
we in space. We in space, yo. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in space. Just for the record, in case you didn't know. And we're moving through space.
Hey, that's why I wanted to post my source. My source actually mentioned that there was no rotational movement of the Earth detected. And it
This source is saying a whole lot. This source is debunking relativity. It's saying that there's no galaxies. This source, you got to bring out this mysterious source that
What's the title of the source?
Somebody
the title of the paper.
The source is Nature, the scientific magazine, or it's like a scholarly magazine. It's called Nature.
And they debunk their own something that they go with.
Talk to us. Hold on. We're gonna help you out.
They even mentioned that like a global satellite positioning system is technically impossible. There's no way. There's no satellites outside of this world.
What you talking on right now?
So how does your GPS work?
He has that little man. That little man flashed the flashcards in your cell phone and tell you which way to go. Y'all didn't know that?
It's basically all ground-based communication, but like it's also like have y'all? Dang, I had to look that one up too though. But like they do have the capability of bouncing signals off the dome back down to the ground.
So you saying the satellites is underground?
I mean they in the ocean and everything. It's all ground-based communications. Like they haven't positioned a satellite in space.
Hey man, hey bro. Look behind you. What is that picture behind your head?
A Mayan?
Are you a Mayan?
I think so, yeah. I got the sickle cell trait.
You got the sickle cell trait.
Ooh,
why do you think that Mayan has that skin color or painted that? Why do you think?
I mean, why didn't modern day Mayans and Mexicans that's there right now in the land? Why would they depict themselves with that type of brown?
Don't worry about that. I'm saying, why do you think that Mayan has that skin color? Do you know? What's your reason?
Why would they paint themselves that way?
No, I'm asking you why. Why are they that skin color? Biologically speaking, why are they that skin color?
Because they're indigenous to the earth. They came from the soil.
Hold on. So all people indigenous to the earth is that skin color?
I mean, the elect, his true people, the ones that were placed here first.
No.
Everybody else made in the lab, if you ask me.
So everybody else made in the lab.
Except me and y'all on the panel.
What lab? Mother Linty's lab? You have a Mother Linty?
Hey, I would say something like that because like
we need to start just talking pseudo. Mother Linty. That's a Sumerian doctrine. So listen, the reason that those people
some science and technology that like the creator wasn't ready for us to have, and like we fucked up and we made some people and he flooded this whole out.
So you going to Yaakov, the big head scientist thing?
That's what it sounds like to me.
You going Yaakov, yo? You going Yaakov?
No. I know.
No, Yaakov. Yeah, remember they drafted. Yeah.
No, because it
you don't go for that.
It mentions they came here. It mentions they came here like from outer space. No, we was already here.
Whoa! You just say we ain't never been to space.
Exactly. The story of Jacob or Yakub, he came from space. It made him. We was already here and we made.
Hold on, you hear what how did he get here from outer space if we ain't never been to space?
Yeah,
you're having fun, yo. I don't actually think I can help you, yo. I think you just done.
I mean,
you got any kids, brother? You got any kids? It's a question. Got any kids, nieces? Huh?
Damn, all right. Yeah, I got a daughter. I got a beautiful daughter, 8-year-old daughter.
You don't teach her that, do you?
Yeah. I got kids. Yeah.
No, I said, did you teach her that? This is a question. Or is that just like your hobby?
So what else I got for me?
Oh,
well, I would add this. Just as a suggestion in terms of being able to critique sources, right? Whenever you get your hands back on the source, take a look at the origins of that particular source, right? I would implore you to take a look at where that who actually published this study, right? Or whoever wrote that document or gave you the results of it. I would ask, at least do that due diligence. Figure out who the people are. Do they have an agenda? Are they associated with some type of external organization? Right. I think this is a very important thing in our community, is being able to critique sources. Right. How do we know the information that we're receiving is reliable? Right. And I think you're since you're in the panel, I'm gonna put a link in the back chat that may help you actually give you some information about how to actually critically critique sources, right? And I think that's something that's a skill set. Right? It's a skill set that you learn in higher education. I think that may be something that you want to pick up on there, because again, right, you're describing a study that's debunking huge swaths of science. And it sounds like whoever is putting that information together, if it's accurate in terms of how you're describing it, right? I'm very skeptical of this particular source, right? Not of you, or maybe of what this source is saying, if that's fair.
You are muted if you're talking, bro.
Yeah, he done in between, yo. He's on the interstellar planetary.
I think he thinking about how that man got here from outer space, yo.
Oh man, we haven't been to space, but he's in space.
Yeah, he hasn't been in space.
Oh, man, that was a lot to unpack right there. That's a lot to unpack.
We got work. We got work to do, man.
Oh man.
No, we don't. We ain't got to work on that. We don't.
that one.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, he cooked. He
cooked. Spent a whole hour trying to find a source. Couldn't find it.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to put that band. That was fun. Yeah, it was lost some brain cells in the midst of that. Yeah, man. Hey, Sean. Hey, you gotta send us some music, man. You gotta send us something. Come on, yo. I know you can. What you got for us one day? I know you come up with something.
I got you. Drop your email in the back chat, and I got you tonight.
All right.
I just want to say real quick to the brother who's still watching, man, subscribe to this channel and just go back in the archive, watch the old videos, man. You here for a reason.
Yep. Sure. I think he. I don't know. He out there, yo.
Nah, he can. You know, when you get exposed, you know, when you, like you said, when you hear yourself say something and it don't make sense, or when you kill yourself on a point, you kind of change your ways, yo.
Yeah, you be like, oh, I killed myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're making in these people where you get this stuff from, when they start making outrageous claims, it's hard to keep up with all this stuff, right? It becomes contradictory, right? Because they're not really dealing with the model like science does, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talk about science deals with models for this particular reason, so that we don't have contradictory explanations of the physical world, right? It's like building a Ferrari and putting on a pair of square tires on it. It's like, no, that's not going anywhere. Right? You have to have a working model in science, right? You can't build you can't have explanations of the world that are indeed contradictory. So I think that's an example of what he did right there.
Yeah, he was walking contradiction, yo. And if you don't want to become a walking contradiction, don't delve in science. It'll have you sounding crazy. It'll have you sounding crazier than you was before you was that. You'll feel crazy. You'll definitely feel crazy, man. But look, man, appreciate everybody coming through, man. You know, make sure y'all like and subscribe, man, to the Pseudo Killers, man. Like up that video, man. Get that algorithm going. Man, if y'all like what y'all heard, man, make sure y'all just go in the chat, man, and chat it up, yo. You know what I mean? We go off live, man, chat it up, yo. Get them views up in the daggone chat. You'll make more people come to the videos and watch the videos. You know what I'm saying? Use your YouTube Kung Fu in there. Talk all the trash you want to talk, as long as you don't go through the mess up the guidelines and then race you up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, we appreciate everybody to come through, man. It's, you know, it's important, man, for everybody to do what they do, man. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, we all the way in that game, man. We appreciate that. You know, we putting it together over here, man.
Support that debate coming up. Support that upcoming debate. I know you guys want to see that. I know you guys want to see it.
Let them know when it is, huh?
First week in next month. Yeah, you know, we working on it.
First week of May. Okay.
Yeah, still trying to work out the particulars, man. You know what I mean, yo? Yeah, we ain't just gonna do it, yo. We gonna do it right. Gonna make sure it's straight, man. So yeah, man, you know, man, we gonna kick it out, man, with a little JC Porter, man. Shorty live. Yeah, yo, check out the words, yo. He always got the words for that shit, man. He always doing it right, yo. Yeah, Pseudo Killers on deck, man.
It was all good until they stole my way. Hey, why you wanna threaten to leave but wanna stay? Hey, LV in the wardrobe, baby. I feel like a checkerboard. Trophies on the mantle, baby. Spinning on they block your sport. What do you see when you look at these Cardi frames? What do you see? Nigga, my name ring bells. Have you lost your brain? Hey, shit feel better than the fucking freedom bills. Freedom bros, but the bars we got it for sale. I had to pipe shit up. This bitch was going, bitch was going. I had to put on the alarm, cause this niggas back door. I had to pipe shit up, cause this bitch was going, bitch was going. I keep it effing with the green tips, but it be true to say, hey, baby, these eyes don't lie when you look into them. Hey, why you say we into it when you know we good? I'm on a jet ski, I'm on a wave, come and catch me. Tag, please, wish a bitch, nigga, test me. Baby, these eyes don't lie when you look into them. Why you say we into it when you know we good? I wanna test me, I'm on a wave, come and catch me. Tag, please, wish a bitch, nigga, test me. Hey, fuck shit up, but I'm already knowing. I had to put on the alarm, cause these niggas back door. They want me fuck shit up, but I'm already knowing. I had to put on the alarm, cause these niggas back door.
Go for real, like I'm just. Hold on. Girl, I'm dialing you. Ever since I met you, I've been all over you. Burberry, London is a smell on you. Gotta keep it player, I can't get too comfortable. Hey, girl, you know I'm jumping off the ropes. I ain't come to play. Been that nigga since forever, baby. It ain't much to say. Getting to the skrilla every time of day. Met a bad one on the way, like Kim K. Hey. Met a bad one on the way like Kim K, like Kim K. Met a bad one on the way like Kim K. Hey, met a bad one on the way like Kim K, like Kim K. Met a bad one on the way. Suit and tie, shorty, tell me what the business is. Got me feeling like this some official shit. Wear your fucking jersey and your whistle, bitch. I'm just trying to take it to the post like an N1. I'm just trying to work it like some errands. Slid into your middle like a fraction. Skeletons you bring up out the closet, said it's random. Yeah. Hey. Shorty, you ain't even gotta do that. Thinking in your head that I'm big cap, no cap. Baby, I'm official as a visa stamp. Baby, I'ma feel you as the cookie stamp. Baby, I got them pigs with the cookie stamp. People's champ, hey. Nigga, I really think I found a bad bitch. Nigga, know I really was bad. Nigga, I really think I found a bad bitch. Hey, girl, you know I'm jumping off the ropes. I ain't come to play. Been that nigga since forever, baby. It ain't much to say. Getting to the skrilla every time of day. Met a bad one on the way, like Kim K. Hey, met a bad one on the way, like Kim K. Like Kim K. Met a bad one on the way, like Kim K. Hey, met a bad one on the way, like Kim K. Like Kim K. Met a bad one on the way. I met a bad one. I just met a bad one. I just met a bad one. I just met a bad one away. Hey, I just met a bad one. I just met a bad one. I just met a bad one. Met a bad one on the way. Like Kim K. Nigga call it Kimmy Cakes. Hey.